So you look all distinguished.
Well,
nothing
matches the jersey, so I figured Wolverine, because Stags are in Canada too, and he's Canadian, so on that level it kind of works.
We don't have Wolverines, do we? I don't.
Well, no, but the character.
Right? Yes, I got what you were saying.
Logan's Canadian.
Yes, I knew that part. Okay.
Do we have to go back and watch all the movies? No. Come on. No. Howdy, everybody.
I'd rather not.
We don't know what Dallas is sending back yet. We don't have any idea. So I've got Sportsnet on. I'm not using a board this year. So sorry, guys, you can't. You didn't get this one. Where's this one? When's that? I can't see it. Where you guys are in front of? Why did?
Okay, Yvonne's standing in the way. Tell her to move.
Yep. So today I just wanted to be a nice casual. We're going to discover these trades together kind of day. Lawton's headed to Toronto. We don't know the return for that yet. Luke Schen's gone to the Jets.
Oh, okay.
They traded a second and fourth for Luke Schenn. It's a good veteran addition on the blue line. Now we'll see if they get Braden Schenn, because Braden Schen's been rumored to be on the move.
Thoughts on Rantanen?
Rantanen has been playing better than the stats would say in Carolina. Plus, he's Finn, and Dallas has a lot of Finns. So that should work really, really well. Because, he should have no problem fitting in at all. Plus, it means that they could just talk Finnish to each other on the ice. And, good luck deciphering that. Unless, of course, you have a Finn on your team, in which case then it doesn't. Probably.
Bring back the board. It's iconic. You guys get it?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I don't think I've worn this Heartlander in a video either.
Haven't you?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't keep track of
I've
what you wear.
featured it as one of my favorite jerseys ever.
Yes. I don't pay enough attention.
In fact, everything Iowa Heartlanders, big thumbs up for me. I think they're fantastic. Do I see the Panthers making any more moves? Yes, it's the Panthers. I would be very surprised if they don't make some kind of a deal over the next little while. Kuzmenko's gone to the Kings. So Kuzmenko's bounced around a little bit this year.
Are Sharks having a fire sale?
Not exactly. There's not that much for them to sell. I know this year when I was talking about the Sharks, and anytime I talked about their pending UFAs, there's not a lot there.
Now, how long till 20, 30 million is the norm for top players?
I'd say at least 3 years before that becomes any kind of a norm. And even then, I don't think it's going to go higher than maybe 17 million 2 or 3 years from now. They're showing Tkachuk again. Tkachuk was crying because they traded Josh Norris.
Oh my goodness.
They're going to keep showing that.
Just going to, since this is the start, sorry if I miss any. We'll try. YouTube's not the best at showing us all the super chats.
Right.
So sometimes it can be challenging. Do I have my phone? I do have my phone. Okay. Hold on. I'll get my phone out.
Okay.
People message me on Discord.
First things
sometimes
first,
when I
Taylor
miss stuff.
Swift. Agreed. And that's Josh, of course. Of course it is. Any updates with Sagan and Heiskanen? Sagan, very unlikely he's back before the playoffs. Heiskanen, it looks like it's much the same. I'd be very surprised if Dallas doesn't do something to plan for that, because it doesn't sound like Heiskanen's close.
Did you get that whole thing?
We've traded Rantanen. Yeah, they just don't know the return yet. So, yeah, at the time that went up, that it was heard, yep, this $12 million a year contract, but we don't know the return yet. Will the Canucks pursue Marchand? No. They're not in any position. They're not adding a rental. They already said they're not adding a rental. They're looking long-term. Marchand's, 35? That's not long-term. Anything out of Boston? I haven't seen anything with Boston yet other than the trade last night where they acquired Khusnutdinov, which I like. I like Khusnutdinov. He's got some offensive upside.
Blue Jackets, what's needed to get them to the second round?
Well, last night they got kind of schooled by Florida. So the problem with Columbus is they're trending in the wrong direction. Leadership. It's going to be on the veterans on that team to show some leadership and spur them on to make the playoffs and then get out of the first round. But it's going to be difficult.
Frustrating again as Wings fan on a cusp of a second straight March collapse and hoping they do something. 9 years, no playoffs, starting to sting a bit, even growing up during the golden era.
Totally understandable.
Do you think the Canes coaching keeps offensive players away? Back-to-back years now, acquisitions have gone running the other way.
I don't know that it's coaching. I think it's they don't want to pay the amount of money that these guys are looking for and throw off their. Most teams have an internal cap structure. That's how I see it with Carolina. They have a certain amount they want to pay their players, and they don't want to give somebody a ridiculous amount. To them, would be a ridiculous amount because then that throws off everybody else.
Do you think the Blues overcome losing Parayko for the season? Still a chance at making the playoffs?
There's still a chance for them to make the playoffs. Calgary and Vancouver aren't running away with it. Utah's not some kind of juggernaut. They still have a chance to make the playoffs.
Well, I see Adam just linked our Discord on there. There's all sorts of chat on there. It's kind of fun. Where are we?
You did that one?
Yep.
Yes, I'm not writing off the Devils at all. The Devils have a good team. Losing Jack Hughes hurts, but it can be done.
Do you think Winnipeg makes a big move or just depth?
I like the Shen pickup or Shen. Yeah, we'll see if they're done. I think there's more depth moves to be made, but I don't think they're going.
There's great logo.
Agreed, and I like the flower too. That's really nice. They have a black one.
Wild rose,
the prairie rose or whatever that is. Yeah, and they have a black one with this on the front too.
Yes,
I just don't have that one.
I've seen that one. Could Tampa bring Isaac Howard and Geeky for playoffs and make a kids line?
I can't see a kids line for the playoffs. During the regular season next year, sure. Brandon Tanev got traded to Winnipeg. Didn't he start in Winnipeg? I think Brandon Tanev started in Winnipeg.
I don't know that I want him.
Wow.
Where will all go if I don't know. Can you decipher that one?
Yeah, no idea. Because SJS to me is San Jose Sharks, and I can't get that out of my brain.
Right. What do you reckon happens for my Devils?
They're buyers, but it may just be that the prices are too high right now. I wouldn't be surprised if the prices are too high for them right now.
Okay, yeah, we're getting lots. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep up here. Which Habs players are likely to be traded away?
Armia could be traded away. Absolutely could. Let's see. It wasn't Norris and Darlene asked for Adams.
Where we are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Any further moves by Avalanche moving Casey?
I haven't seen anything yet. I know Middlestad's been on the block. Devils have signed Kovacevic to a 5-year extension worth $20 million in total.
Is Sagan going to retire? How can Dallas make this work?
If Sagan comes back for the playoffs, they don't have to worry about cap hits. I don't think Sagan's going to retire. I think basically you add now and you worry about a logjam in the offseason.
Guess there will be no video on who I thought would be a superstar when I was young in Sweden and told all my friends to look out for Jason
Bonsignor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't quite make it. Didn't quite make it.
She's gonna be obnoxious.
On the Caps going to the playoffs. I'm not sure of any promos with Discord. Other than join the Discord. It's always linked in the description of videos and live streams.
So Adam linked it in the chat earlier. Yep. It is in the description of every video. We've got the THG Discord. We've got game day chats. There's channels for all of the teams and merch and all sorts of stuff. It's kind of fun. So lots of people on there.
As for the Caps heading into the playoffs, I'm going to be interested to see if their game works in the playoffs. I'm going to be curious. They do kind of give that air of a team that could get knocked out early in the playoffs.
If Marchand gets traded, I'll have a new team to cheer for. Go Marchand.
The tricky part with Marchand's the fact that he's hurt right now. So that's the tricky part.
Where are we? Callum Ritchie and a first for Nelson was a great return for Lou. I think Nelson thrives on the Avs as well.
That was a pretty good return. I like Callum Ritchie. And I honestly think that people underestimate what those first-round draft picks can be.
Is Colorado done making moves, or do you think they'll make one more splash? Marchand, Carlo?
I would put Carlo ahead of Marchand in terms of likelihood. Marchand's hurt for at least 2 weeks, so I think that's going to soften the market for him.
Do you have to be all the way up there?
Oh, we will absolutely promote the Discord server.
Do not promote the server.
Please join our Discord. Yeah, we have 2 Discords, and we have one for patrons and members at a various level too. So,
is Yzerman able to move Tarasenko today?
I mean, he's able. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of takers for Tarasenko if he puts him out there. Yeah, I don't think Tarasenko's going anywhere.
Oh, my goodness, where were we? Oh, Sharks trading Ferraro would be a mistake. I'm not even sure what his value is right now.
Ferraro, they're listening. They're not shopping him, they're listening. So unless something really jumps out at them, it's not happening. Carolina
is in for Besser. Love from Spain.
I would think they're in for Besser. We're going to see what the return looks like on the Rantanen deal. Besser, I think, does get moved before noon today, but hopefully the Canucks get a good return for him.
Ottawa Senators do think they will trade him Allmark. If so, where
will
go? San Jose or back to Boston?
No, Allmark's not going anywhere. There's no chance that Ottawa trades Allmark. They re-signed him beyond this season, so they're not going to trade him.
Bolts should trade Duke and Geeky plus picks for Besser. The Canucks are my second team, so I know that kid's a stud.
I would love to see some kind of deal for the Canucks that works both now and for later. Connor Geeky looks like a good player. I don't know if Tampa Bay does that deal unless they get some kind of an extension done with Besser first. Maybe that's a sign and trade like Rantanen.
Dallas scares me now, Shannon. I hope it gives you hope. Also, Flames seem happy staying put. Not sure if it's a good or bad thing. Also, go Flames, go.
Yeah, Craig Conroy basically has been quiet and has been willing to let this team show what they can do. It can be the best thing for a team to just tell them, you know what, I trust you guys, and we'll see how it goes.
Thoughts on the Buffalo-Ottawa trade?
I'm one of the few people that still thinks Josh Norris is a really good player and that he can be really productive. I think both teams made probably the right move here. Cousins is a good two-way forward too, though. So yeah, it is going to be an interesting rest of the season to see if Norris fits in really well in Buffalo. Hopefully they figure something out.
Is Buffalo's plan to never make the playoffs again?
If you watched my video yesterday, I did discuss that may very well be where we're headed because it doesn't feel like they're getting any closer. Beauvillier.
I know that.
Well, it's not spelled right.
I knew what it was, though. Beauvillier is a great playoff player. 16 goal, 15 assist. 4 game-winning goals, 1 game, 6 overtime winner to force ECF game 7 versus Tampa. All those things. The trade seems fair.
Beauvillier is interesting. He was very, very quiet in his play last season. He's been better in Pittsburgh. It's a matter of the fit. If he fits with Washington and it clicks, then he can be a net positive for them. I think people were just surprised that it was more than, say, a 4th-round pick, but Washington wanted the player.
Thoughts on Wallman deal. First plus a second for a bag of pucks is an absolute masterclass by Mike Greer. How does he keep getting away with it?
Wallman's a very good offensively minded defenseman. Actually got off to a really, really strong start in San Jose, and I like Wallman a lot. So I think the Oilers got themselves a good defenseman there.
I will get crucified by fellow Wings fans, but looking back, we should have traded Larkin with Ronick and Bertuzzi for a haul and gone full youth.
I still think Detroit's season is salvageable. I still think that they could make the playoffs this year. I haven't given up on them at this point in time, and I think Larkin's a really good captain for him.
Why aren't the pets named for Canucks? Brock Bunny. Well, Brock wouldn't really work. Most of our bunnies are girls. And
no.
I don't know that our children would find that nearly as entertaining as Shannon would.
I don't know that Licorice would like to be named Brock. I don't think that would suit him.
I don't think so.
Unless it was like broccoli.
You think Bolts and a defensive today?
Probably. Tampa Bay's in that position where they've pulled themselves into a contender's spot. I would be very surprised if they don't add depth. Probably up front and on the blue line. I don't think it'll be anything earth-shattering, though.
Bigger tire fire organization, Buffalo or New York Jets?
Sabres. I'd put the Sabres ahead of the Jets.
What move do you see Vegas making today?
Vegas is going to be quiet. Kelly McCrimmon made it clear that they're not making huge moves today or over the trade deadline. It's just going to be minor deals. They have cap space to make moves if they want, but I don't think they're going to be doing a lot. I think they like the team as it is.
Could Suter from Vancouver be a stopgap for 2C for Montreal for the rest of the season?
I don't know about Suter as a number 2 center. I think it's a number 3, but I don't think Montreal would be interested in Suter as a rental either.
Chances Rickard Rakell gets moved and where? Wild?
I don't know that Rakell gets moved. I think that he's quite happy in Pittsburgh, and I think they figure out a way to make it work.
Can't believe Mikko is going to be a star. Makes me scared for the playoffs if we see them. Former Avalanche players have a tendency of...
I'm pretty happy with the idea of Rantanen with the Stars, but I do want to see what the return is like for Carolina. There's no way Carolina's just giving them away.
Been working all day. Anything new with Florida, or is Zito trying to disappoint by not utilizing LTIR? Worried Cats fans.
We haven't heard anything from Florida yet. I would not be surprised to see them make a trade before noon, before the deadline, which is currently 100 minutes away. But they're playing really well. Like last night, they put on a clinic against Columbus. I don't think they need to do a lot.
Who do you think the Blues try and grab with Parayko out for the rest of the season, if anyone? Love the channel, and the cat is adorable. Bear knows she's adorable.
I don't think the Blues are going to do anything rash. I understand that Parayko being out is a huge blow to their blue line. I don't get the feeling Doug Armstrong's going to go out and buy just because of that. And if he does, I don't think he's going to be sacrificing a lot of future assets there.
How do you think the Jets did? Are they done or have more coming?
Adding Tanev, adding Shen, good move. It's too bad they couldn't get Chris Tanev as well and maybe Braden Shen. But Luke Shen is good on the blue line, and I think that Brandon Tanev gives them, honestly, he'll fit right in with that bottom 6. I don't think he's going to need a lot of time to adjust either.
Dollywall said keep an eye out for Canes getting Besser. Would Stank and Bork be coming back?
Not from Carolina, because Stankoven is in Dallas. Bork's in Dallas. So unless you mean Besser's going to Dallas, which wouldn't work because Dallas just got Rantanen, and I can't see a 3-way massive blockbuster. I'd love to see a 3-way massive blockbuster deal. I'd be very surprised if they do that on trade deadline day, though.
Trade, sign, wave. Canucks era, Messier, Sundin, and OEL.
Sign Sundin. Trade Messier, wave OEL, I guess.
Canucks should trade for Joshua and Bluger and third for Zaka and Geeky.
I'd rather not trade Joshua and Bluger. They're two of the hardest working forwards the Canucks have. I'd really rather not see that.
Hey, Shannon, do you think Columbus will make any moves today to improve their chances to make the playoffs?
Don Waddell's going to be smart. He's not going to make a move unless it makes sense now and for next year as well. He's going to have his eye on next season. So I'd be very surprised if Columbus doesn't do anything. But if they don't, it's because the ask on the other side was something that Don Waddell couldn't square with his vision for the team next year and beyond.
Do you think Mike Greer could have gotten more for Granlund if he waited until the deadline?
I mean, it's possible, but there's a logjam of players, and I'm guessing that what Dallas was offering was exactly what he was looking for. So when you get offered something, you're like, that's fair, make the deal.
As an Avs fan, I hate everything about Mikko to the Stars. I wish him the best personally, but I hope that he and Duchesne once again don't get along.
Well, you'd put him on a line with, I would think, Hintz and Robertson. So yeah, that'd be something right there. I think Dallas. The funny thing is that the GM of the team has a no a-holes rule
That's
about
a
the
good
team.
rule. That
So if a
sounds like a
player,
Discord rule too.
player is known as an a-hole, he will not be going to Dallas. That's the rule.
Totally get that.
And yes, I did think, but don't they already have? There were a couple of names that I thought in my brain that I don't say in videos or anything, but I did immediately think, but wait a minute, don't they have? So I did have that name.
Sounds like it's Stanky. That's an awful nickname. Anyways, and 2 first for Rantanen. Do you think that'll be all?
Stankoven is an excellent forward. I will be very sad to see him go. I was really looking forward to watching his development. I think Carolina's going to love him, and if it's 2 firsts, that's fair.
Perry is stellar in his old age. Regret
hating him?
No. Hating him. Oh, okay.
No.
I'm not good at reading words
I had
numbers
reasons,
in them. I'm too old.
I had reasons for my dislike for Perry back in the day. Those are still valid. Yeah, he's a good veteran. He's been good for the Oilers. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to go. That opinion I had 10 years ago, I'm going to change it. There were a lot of people that did not like Corey Perry. Lots of people did not like. There's still a lot of people don't like Corey Perry.
Is Trouba going to get moved? Imagine the return.
I don't get the feeling that Anaheim's interested in trading Trouba unless they can really make a massive, unless somebody's willing to overpay. I don't think Trouba's going anywhere. I think they like what he brings to the blue line and they would rather keep him.
Do you see Marchand getting moved? If so, what are the implications for Boston's future and Sweeney's job?
Well, if they don't get enough of a return, that'll cost Sweeney his job, maybe. Although he's pretty tight with Cam Neely. So the assumption is that Neely and Sweeney are close. I don't think Marchand gets dealt because he's hurt. And I don't think he wants to get dealt. I think he wants to stay in Boston.
Any news on Brock Besser or Brad Marchand? Also, keep up the great work. Always, both of you, your channel is amazing.
So first off, thank you. And secondly, no news that I've seen on either Besser or Marchand. I would think Besser probably gets traded before noon. I don't think Marchand does.
Was including Nikita
Grabenkin
in the deal for,
Lawton.
A surprise.
You have to pay the price. Lawton's got values, or Lawton's got value to a team. It's going to cost something. Grabenkin is a good prospect. He's not a star prospect. So, having him as part of the deal, I think that's fine.
Under the radar 2C option for Montreal.
There's not a lot of centers out there. Not a lot out there. I know the Canucks were apparently in on Norris. They didn't get that done. Apparently they were in on Cousins too. So those guys getting traded for each other kind of hurts that. Oh, I can't make the Tuck and Cousins joke anymore. Oh, geez. Rest in peace, Tuck and Cousins joke. Man.
What moves do Anaheim and Pittsburgh make today?
Sale. Can be a lot of selling going on by Anaheim and Pittsburgh. Although with Anaheim, it's going to be with an eye towards next season. I think the expectation is Anaheim will be a contending team next season, at least for the playoffs.
And thanks, Shannon and Yvonne, for everything you do. Very interested in your opinion of the Leafs Flyers trade.
I like Lawton. I think Lawton's a good player, and I think he is the kind of depth that Toronto needs. Toronto has always had a team going to the playoffs that's very top-heavy, and I always think that makes it a little bit easier to play against them. So, yeah, adding Lawton is a good move. So, yeah, they've confirmed it's Stankoven and 2 firsts for Mikko Rantanen. I think that's a good risk for Dallas, and I think Carolina did well too.
Hi guys.
Howdy.
GJ.
Good job.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Anything about number 65, Carlson?
Eric Carlson, I can't see him getting traded because he's got the no movement clause, right? So they have to ask him first. I don't see him going anywhere. I'm trying to suppress the sneeze. My nose wants to sneeze, and I'm trying to tell it no. I'm not doing a video. I can't pause. So,
if it is Stankoven, this could be a Ginla.
New and date.
There you go. All over again.
Similar. But I mean, I'm fine with that because Dallas won the Stanley Cup in '99 with Nieuwendyk, so that's a perfectly fine trade-off for me.
Not mad about Mikko to Dallas. The Avs with 3 guys and McCarr's extension making $12 million plus would be insane. Nietzsche's has been excellent for us. We're good.
I agree. I think that the deal makes sense for Dallas, but I've seen people saying, well, why wouldn't Colorado have given him $12 million? Because you got to pay McCarr. And McCarr is going to be a lot of money. So I agree. I completely agree.
Any other news on the Kraken? I've only seen that blockbuster. Also, you guys are great. Love the channel.
The only one that I've seen is Tanev. So Tanev's gone to the Jets. But I mean, the Kraken are open out. Bjorkstrand's out. Although, hey, Asimont got a goal in night, so that's not bad.
Does Stevie Yzerman make a move after the Wings 4-game skid? Love the channel. Appreciate everything you do.
He's probably trying. The asking prices from sellers might be a little bit high for his liking. He's not going to want to part with first-round draft picks, even though this team's near the playoffs. I don't think he's going to want to part with first-round draft picks just yet.
Yeah, I'm not getting traded. Nobody in this house would be able to function without me here. So, true. Thoughts on that Detroit Larkin trade?
There hasn't been a Larkin trade. I'm watching TV. You guys might be trying to fool me, but I'm watching the insiders yammering on Sportsnet. So
here's $2 just for the Red Wing cozy.
I love this. I do, because now when I put my soda down anywhere around the house, and I do,
he does.
Now I can find it.
So often I'll find his can. It'll be all cold. Did you forget where you set this down? You set it down in a random location. You probably wouldn't have found it.
Why are the Oilers not trying to add a goalie? Because they believe in their tandem. And I understand if you're saying, well, wait, but they need to improve it. I agree. They do need to improve their tandem if they're going to win a Stanley Cup. But they're happy with their goaltending right now.
As an Avs fan, I despise Rantanen to the Stars with every fiber of my being.
As a Stars fan, I apologize, but he's a member of the Stars now. Dallas will take good care of Rantanen.
Next time the Red Wings will make the playoff will be 2 years from now. There you go.
If they miss this year and next year, I think Yzerman could be gone. That's a long time. Yzerplan or not Yzerplan, that's a long time.
Oh, who's going to Carolina? I missed it.
Rantanen is gone to Dallas, going the other way. Stankoven and a couple of first-round picks. And Stankoven's fantastic. I'm going to be sad not to be able to say his name for Dallas now. It's a good thing I didn't get a jersey because I thought about it. I was like, I need to get some of that stank on my back. So I was going to have that stank right there. And I was even going to be able to like, so Yvonne, should I wear my stank jersey?
Totally would too. That would be obnoxious.
So a little bit of stank. Poor kid. Don't be depressed. It's only trade deadline day. They always overblow just how big these are for every team. True. And so if anybody feels better, Rantanen going to Dallas, usually the team that makes that big deal on trade deadline day craps out in the playoffs. That just seems to be the case. That people be like, oh, look at this team. They've loaded up and they're set. And this is the favorites now. And then, nope.
Will the Rangers make a big move today?
I think they've made their big moves. I think adding JT Miller was their big move. And I think that they're headed in the right direction. They're playing well. Leave it as it is, mostly. Maybe add 1 or 2 here or there in terms of depth, but leave the rest as it is.
What do you think about Smith back in Vegas?
Riley Smith needs to be back in Vegas. That is the right move. I think that's a fantastic decision on their part.
Utah Clubber fan here. Love you, Shannon. Appreciate all the love you've shown on Utah this year. You are beloved in all our Utah fan chats.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's so nice.
I'm looking forward to a Mammoth jersey or 2 this coming because I think it's going to be Mammoth, which I think is fantastic. I'm going to be a
Utah
big
Yeti would have been.
I'm going to be a big Mamothian. That's what we're going to call the fan base, the Mamothians.
That's an awful idea. That's so silly.
Well, we're not going to be the Mammoths. That sounds silly.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. Should I stand like
Okay,
this?
Hold on. That's weird. It's saying, I don't know if you guys are able to see us fine. It's saying our connection is unstable, but
there we go.
Our connection is fine.
It's fine. That went away. If you're Carolina, are you happy with essentially trading Natchez for Stankoven and 2 first-rounders? Yeah. I think that's good. I think Natchez, while he's going to put up a ton of points in Colorado, I don't think he would have done that with Carolina, so it's fine.
How do you think Columbus can fix the problem during this 2-game slide?
Their road record is bad. They don't play very well on the road. They play very well at home, and that road it could very well cost them playoffs. I think there's confidence. I think there's some issues with the team that Florida just picked them apart last night.
Somebody asked if I could put a Wild jersey on. I don't do that on camera. I don't change during the middle of the live stream.
We'll get like $500 in super chats.
I almost wore Wild too. I actually had Wild on before this. Then I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I've worn Wild recently. I don't think I've worn Flame recently.
I mean, I really like. I can put on Wild, but I don't know that that's going to help. See, and then they'd end up like a massive injury would happen, and people like he jinxed him. Do you see that he put on a Wild jersey and immediately everybody was out with injury?
I did almost wear Wild though. I had Wild on before I had this on. Could Middlestat be had from Colorado?
Yeah, Middlestat has apparently been on the market. And I honestly think Middlestat can still be an effective player. Maybe expectations are too high. I think that's part of the reason Dubois excelled in Washington. There weren't any expectations for him. So he could just go out there and play well, and people are happy. The totals that Dubois is putting up in Washington would have been panned in Winnipeg or in Columbus. But because of what his role is in Washington, everybody loves him. It's just a matter of finding the right team for Middlestat too.
They moved the little buttons, so now I can see all of the chat.
There you go.
Maybe enough people complained.
Heard rumors about Toronto looking to trade Domi. I'd be surprised if Domi got traded. He's been excellent for them. And no whiteboard today because I would put the trades on the board, but then people are like, you didn't put this one on. And where's this one?
Complain that I was
and where's the one? Yeah, we can't see it. And then where's the ones from yesterday? And where's the ones from? And you didn't put this. And why isn't this? So I'll just do a video after we're done the live stream, looking at the trades. I'll do a board specifically on the Rantanen deal so we can discuss. But yeah, then the rest of the trades I'll put into a different video.
Do you think the entertainment guy is liking trades?
He's just happy that he's got a roof over his head. He's sleeping under the stairs. And I'm telling you, I know he's the one that's been eating all the peanut butter. He had it right in the corner of his mouth the other day. I didn't eat peanut butter. I'm like, dude, it's right in the corner of your mouth. I was arguing with the entertainment guy last time. I'm surprised it didn't wake you up.
Oh my gosh. Can Vegas get Marchessault back?
Not with that cap hit. That cap hit's too high. That's why they had to let him go in the offseason.
Is Rantanen in Dallas just a playoff rental? Or
nope, they've signed him to an 8-year extension worth $12 million a year. They refused to acquire him unless they had him signed.
Oh, somebody likes your hat.
I like my hat too because it covers my head. And it's Wolverine.
I got that for him for his birthday, but since it got mailed to the States, it got here a month after his birthday.
See, and then it's kind of silly because I don't have the adamantium claws. I think for this to really work, I think I have to have the
otherwise
the
you just look goofy.
Right. I think so.
Besser on an ice for practice?
Yeah, meaning he's at practicing with the Canucks. They can still pull him off the ice.
Oh,
if they decide to trade him
off there. All right. Shannon's Jack like Wolverine. You guys have no idea.
Well, all my strength's in my legs.
I know. I am aware.
You know that episode with Homer where he's doing this with a weight and this arm's like this big? Yeah, that's my legs. The rest of my body, not as muscular, but the legs, treadmill 50 minutes a day, does that.
Shannon doesn't really have time to play video games.
No, I haven't turned on my PlayStation. In fact, I unplugged it from the TV the other day. Because when I go to the cable, for some
you?
reason, my TV turns on the PlayStation. Like, I don't want the PlayStation on. And then it goes to the PlayStation. Like, you want to play video game? No, I don't. I wanted the cable. So I just unplugged the PlayStation from the television. I haven't turned it on in ages.
I wish my Penguins would have sold 2 years ago, but I think Raquel would fit so good in with Columbus. Thanks for helping me get through my work days.
Thanks for watching. Raquel, I honestly think that if Pittsburgh can't get like a fantastic return, they should hold the player. Raquel's playing, I think, his best hockey ever in Pittsburgh. So he's happy. I would think they're happy.
Somebody says that you have adamantium, but just in your pinky.
I don't know that I do. It sounds painful.
True or false? Avs Stars first round. It'll be a series to watch, and whoever wins will play for Lord Stanley.
Well, the winner would likely get Winnipeg in the second round, so that'd be another very, very good playoff series if Winnipeg can put it together in the playoffs. I'd be very happy to see Winnipeg win a Stanley Cup. I think she'd be happy to see Winnipeg win a Stanley Cup.
That'd be awesome. How cool would that be? And then we could all say, it's about time.
I would absolutely, yeah.
That would be great.
We could fly to Winnipeg for the parade.
I mean, that'd be fun.
Winnipeg in June. It's not Winnipeg in December.
I wouldn't want to go in December.
It's not Winnipeg.
Is it true THG went absolutely bonkers from Seal's heel turn?
Cena's heel turn was brilliant. And I've seen people saying it's the best heel turn of all time. I don't know if I'd go that far. No one really saw Hogan's heel turn coming. You could see some signs with Cena. If anything, it feels like it's overdue. But yeah, that was interesting. I just don't know where they go from here and how this is all going to work. But it's WWE; they'll figure it out. CM Punk's promo, though, my God, that was great.
Winnipeg is beautiful in June. Sure, it is. I want to take my kids to Alberta in June, though. I think
she wants to go to Banff.
I think I'm going to be taking them to Alberta this year. So do a little just me and the kiddos holiday at the end of the school year in June. I think we'll go to Alberta this year.
That's when the draft and trade deadline and all that's, or not trade, the Stanley Cup and then the draft.
Yeah. Last year I took them up north. A lot up north. I mean, Alberta would still be north too, but it'd be fun. How are you feeling about the state of the Canucks at this point?
Despair. Really hope this makes sense later, and I really hope this improves.
Oh, I gotta switch it.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for all you do, Shannon and Yvonne.
No problem.
Okay,
thanks, Matei.
Just making sure. Okay, what about the
Andre Sekera
career video?
I mean, I'll write it down. Yeah, I really feel like I'm going to sneeze pretty quickly here. Where's a pen?
Right, I've got one right here.
Okay.
Pen.
I'll write this on your shoulder.
No, you will not. There's a desk right here.
Uh-huh.
Hey, that's
what?
Trouble?
I was looking for the desk.
Were you? What big name or names do you think Columbus, Anaheim, and Pittsburgh can afford?
Columbus is in the buying market. Anaheim and Pittsburgh are not. This coming summer, Anaheim, I think, is probably going to be aggressive. I wouldn't blame them for being aggressive either. Pittsburgh has to go into a rebuild. They have to at least look into a rebuild. Columbus can afford whatever. Like if today, if they decided, we want to add 20 million in salary cap, they have the space to make that happen. Columbus has a ridiculous amount of cap space.
I think the Rantanen contract might end up being good value, especially when you consider how high the cap is projected to rise over the next few years.
Yes, the Rantanen contract, I think, will be fine for Dallas. But as I previously mentioned, I can totally understand why Colorado wouldn't have signed it.
What should the Canucks do? Add or sell, and who?
If they can get Forbert out for a mid-round pick, that would make some sense. I'd rather see Besser stay and re-sign, to be honest. This whole, everybody going, I'm not a huge fan of that. because then you get this reputation as a team that's just not holding on to players, and you can in the situation where, like Ottawa, when everybody left Ottawa, it took a half a decade for them to get good again. So I'd rather not see that, but who knows?
Could you see Besser for Stanky from Carolina? That's an awful nickname.
I mean,
silly.
1-for-1, if it's a pure rental, I could see that working. And I would love to see Stankoven in a Canucks jersey. I'd have a Stankoven jersey pretty darn quick
I know
from
you
Vancouver.
would. Of course you would.
If he came here. And I'd be talking about the stank.
I know you would all the time.
We needed some stank on the Canucks.
That's okay. Is this the greatest year in terms of parity?
It's up there. We haven't seen parity like this in the NHL. It's got to be at least a decade since we've seen this. And this usually leads to chaos in the playoffs. This usually leads to top teams getting knocked out in the playoffs. And we haven't seen that en masse since the 2019 bloodbath of everybody's fantasy picks going into the playoffs, all of them being eliminated in the first round, to the point where the NHL is like, so we're going to let you do a redo because all of everything was busted.
Is Tampa done, or are they making other moves?
I don't think Tampa needs to do a lot else. Maybe some depth moves, but I don't think they need to do anything else.
So much noise around the league for nothing. Vegas. Just find their game and the hill from the playoff. It's over.
Vegas is going to be really tough come playoff time, and reuniting Riley Smith with the team should invigorate him a little bit. Yeah, Vegas I think is going to be really dangerous come playoff time.
Do the Rangers make any more sales? Love you, THG.
I don't know that they need to either, because the Rangers are right there. The Rangers are right at that playoff line. I don't see any reason why the Rangers can't make it. They should have been a playoff team the whole season.
Do you have any Johnny Gaudreau patches on any of your Calgary or Columbus jerseys?
I don't have the patches. I do have a Flames Gaudreau jersey.
What does Vegas need to increase their chances in the playoffs? In fantasy land, I'd like to get Nyes in. Thank you guys for all you do.
Nyes is not on the market. Vegas can still put it together come playoff time. I honestly like Vegas. Looking at teams in the Pacific, and even though Edmonton absolutely could go on another run, I don't know what Vegas has got put together right now. They could be the team to come out of the Pacific at the very least.
Which Canadian team's fan base do you think other Canadian fans would be most accepting of winning the first Stanley Cup since the 1990s?
Jets.
I think, yeah, Winnipeg.
Jets. People are pretty neutral on the Jets in general. There's a lot of people don't like Vancouver. A lot of people don't like Edmonton.
A lot of
Toronto,
people don't like
Montreal.
Leafs. Yeah, Habs.
Calgary, but I think Winnipeg would be the most acceptable. Ottawa.
I don't think people would mind too much.
Be some Toronto fans that wouldn't be happy if Ottawa won the Stanley Cup because they'd never hear the end of it. They know they'd never hear the end of it. And rightfully so. Like, if you win in that province and you're not Toronto, you have bragging rights forever. So, yeah.
What is with Ottawa and the defenseman churn? Did they need BD?
Bernard Docker was one that had actually cleared waivers last season. He's been better this season, but they have a lot of, I would say, redundant players on that blue line. And so I think that move makes sense there. I think Gilbert brings them something a little different than what Bernard Docker did. So, yeah, I think that trade's going to be an interesting one. Does Cousins rediscover his scoring touch there?
I'm so happy you found Jif peanut butter. Agreed. That's pretty fun. Will the Yzer plan make any more moves right now?
If it makes sense. It has to make sense, both this year and beyond. I don't think they'll be looking at rentals. I think they're going to be looking at the long-term plan.
Do you see the Jets making a deep playoff run?
If they don't do it this year, then
I'd hope
when?
so.
They have to this year.
They should.
They just either they do it this year or blow it up. I don't know. If they lose in the first round again, something has to change.
Really irritating. What would it take to get Brady to Florida?
Change of heart by Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk is very happy in Ottawa. I don't think he wants. Ottawa's been vehemently against the idea of trading him.
Rediscovered my love of hockey recently when I came across your channel. It is awesome.
Thank you.
Love the Hall of Fame player videos you've created. All right, tell me what why Yzerman should be doing, because I feel he might only have 2 years left.
Detroit's in an interesting position. They have a good team. There's a lot of good parts of that team. I don't think that there's any glaring weaknesses, but they're not quite clear of that playoff line. 1 week to the next, they look great, and then they don't. If it's close but no cigar again, we're going to have to start questioning the Yzer plan. I think maybe another veteran player, although they've got Kane. Like if Taves came back and played, would it make sense for Detroit to pursue that and to see about having Kane and Taves both on the team? Would that make sense? Something like that. Some other veteran, somebody who's really outspoken too. So something like that.
Why did Florida have cup final patch on the wrong side?
Wasn't it the ad?
I think so.
Like there's so much crowding now.
Their things are in slightly different spots,
and some patches end up on the shoulders too.
I think it is the ads.
Yeah, definitely.
We've talked about that there's a few teams that have some of their things in odd spots. I think it's ads.
What's going on?
Pens now have the most draft picks out of any team in the next 3 drafts, hoping to see more trades like Tomasino and Novak ones.
Pittsburgh's finally adding draft picks. It's about time that they added draft picks. Maybe Dubas is going to embrace some sort of retool. I don't think it's going to be a rebuild. At this point, Crosby is too old to go through the full rebuild process, because by the time he'd be done, he'd be in his like early to mid 40s. So some kind of retool is probably going to happen with Pittsburgh.
2026 second for thumbnail cat with 50% salary routine. Do you have a thumbnail with, I'm guessing, Bear?
Maybe.
Bear hates everybody but us.
Yes.
Bear doesn't like all of our children.
No.
She's a funny cat. When we have house sitters over, she hides. Not as much as Shadow hides, but she hides.
Yeah, Shadow's gone for days. When we came back, he didn't even come out that first night.
When's our next Disney trip? A while.
It's going to be a while.
Mm-hmm.
However, this summer, I'm considering something to Eastern Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So Newfoundland, PEI,
Canadian
Nova Scotia.
In our future.
She wants to see Nova Scotia. I think it'd be nice to go back.
My family's from Burnaby, so I go there all the time.
Yeah, my dad's side of the family is Newfoundland. My mom's side of the family is Ontario.
Yeah, my family just came from England, went right to Burnaby, and they've been there for 4 generations. So Burnaby. That's it. My family didn't travel at all. Just Burnaby. Thoughts on what the Habs will do?
The Habs are going to be an interesting one to watch. I don't think Kent Hughes is going to do anything that derails what they've been doing. So Armia might get traded. Maybe you trade Savard. Nothing major, I think, gets done by Montreal. They're on the right track. They're playing really well. You want to reward these guys and give them a chance to make it.
A lot of people saying that Newfoundland is beautiful.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Yeah. I would love to go to St. John's, and then, you might be okay with rental car too, because it's not like they have major traffic.
I don't mind doing rental cars in Canada.
They don't have major traffic.
I just don't like doing rental cars in the States because I hate driving in the States.
Right.
Hate driving in the States. Hate it.
I will say this. It's been very quiet today in terms of the trades. So you can see that like on TSN and Sportsnet, they're finding stuff to talk about. They're doing that, well, nothing's happened. Can we show some more stuff can we load up some depth charts here and just start like throwing crap at the wall? Can we do that?
Oh, somebody asked when the trade deadline actually is.
It is in 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 38 seconds.
But remember, trades come in well after. Sometimes they can come in like 45 minutes after it closes because they have to do all the paperwork and stuff.
And if you are, so the GMs have to phone because the NHL's in the 1980s. They have to phone. And when they phone head office, probably, when they phone head office, they can get caught in a queue. So as you report your trade, it's so backwards.
Just so ridiculous. Come on.
So you report it as long as you're in the queue before noon Pacific time.
Hold on. We're out of carbon paper.
Oh, God, this league.
I need to not have a bunch of old men run everything.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just got here. Anything significant happened in the last hour?
Rantanen's off to Dallas for Stankoven and a couple of firsts. Lawton's off to Toronto. Deal that I'll be doing a video on once we're done all this. And anybody who's asking where the whiteboard is, it's just it becomes a bit of a discussion point
all over the place.
It becomes a bit of a discussion point during the live streams, and then it just gets to the point where I can't follow everything, and then people are trying to break fake trades in the chat. Trying to make me write them up on the board and all that. So I'm just watching and flipping back and forth between TSN and Sportsnet, and I'll do up a board with trades after we're done this.
Do the Wild do anything today?
Adding Brazo was a good move. We'll see if there's anything else up their sleeve. Cap space is going to be an issue. I'm pretty sure it has to be dollar in, dollar out for them. And they'll probably want to be making hockey trades. So keeping in mind that almost everybody on the Wild is hurt, it does complicate everything.
Have you ever flown on WestJet? Yeah.
She has. I haven't.
I used to, when I used to work, my headquarters for my office was in Alberta. So I had to fly to Alberta quite a lot. And I always flew WestJet. And the flight attendants on WestJet were always the best. And their little spiel at the beginning was always hilarious. So they were entertaining. Who can Carolina find before the deadline? Who's better than Nietzsche's? It's embarrassing if they go into the playoffs worse than they started the year.
Why don't people like Stankoven? Stankoven's an excellent young forward. His ceiling is high. Stankoven's going to be a star player in the NHL. While I like Rantanen as an addition for Dallas, I think people are underselling Stankoven. It's his first year in the NHL. He's going to be a star player.
Please hold. Your call is important to us. Not even facts, right? Carbon paper. They have to do it on carbon paper, and it's those papers. Remember that were all folded together and you had to rip the sides off? That's what they use.
Hey,
there's a bunch of people in this chat that are not old enough to even know what I'm talking about.
Up until 5 years ago, it was Morse code and telegraph. So,
do you think Carolina should try for some horse trading with the draft picks before the deadline, or should they hold on to what came from Dallas?
I don't think they're going to hold on. Sarah Sivian reported that whatever they get, Carolina could flip again. And I would not be surprised to see Carolina do that, especially multiple first-round draft picks. Carolina's in win now mode.
Love your channel. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
Somebody said if we're going to Newfoundland this summer, we need to book a rental card now because they get booked up really quick.
We could walk. Right. How big's that island anyways? That big.
Huge. It's like the people that go to Vancouver Island. Yeah, it's fine. I could just go up to the front for top to coffee. Sure. They messaged me asking if we could meet him in Quebec for coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember that? And just
yeah. Canada's really big. So yeah.
Why is Vancouver management always behind the ball?
You know, Vancouver's in a tough spot. I don't think they want to sell. I don't think I understand the Canucks' lack of making things happen. And if you can re-sign Besser, I'd rather they re-sign him than trade him. Pembroke Lumber Kings. Man, Pembroke. I haven't seen Pembroke in the chat before. My mom used to talk about going up to Pembroke because she lived in Carleton Place.
I can just picture them doing like the Log Drivers Waltz as one of their songs.
That's why I rooted for Devin Levi, because he had played for Carton Place, and I knew my mom was from Carton Place, so I thought that was nice.
I'm intrigued by, but don't know much about Carson Soucy. What are the Rangers getting on their back end?
A good defensive defenseman who has very limited offense, but defensively he can be quite good. He just ended up out of a job in Vancouver because Elias Pettersson, the defenseman, just passed him on the depth chart. Elias Pettersson is a good defensive defenseman, so I don't think that's an insult to Soucy. He just wasn't part of the Canucks' plans going forward.
Okay, if you go to Nova Scotia, make sure to check out Bernard Maze near Bridgewater and Fort Louisbourg. Loved Canada, but the food made me sick.
It's a lot of poutine. It's a lot of gravy with the fries. You gotta be careful.
I couldn't eat like that either.
No.
Do you think Wings move Tarasenko, and where to?
I think they'll try. I'm not sure that there'd be a large market for Tarasenko at this point in time.
Should Hawks extend Donato or trade?
Depends on the return. If a team is willing to give them a good return and it makes sense, then you trade the player. But otherwise, I mean, Donato's playing the best hockey of his career, I think, right now. I could totally understand Chicago wanting to keep him and him wanting to stay there.
Who was the best player in the finals last season?
In the final? I mean, McDavid won the MVP because of how good he was. It's tough because Florida was killing it the first 3 games, and then the Oilers the next 3 games. It's tough to pick out who the best player was when it was so one-sided up until Game 7, first for Florida and then for Edmonton. I thought they got it right with McDavid as the MVP. Although there were a lot of good players for Florida.
No desire to go to Calgary during Stampede. Sorry.
No.
None.
I hate country music. We both hate country music.
That I get irritated when it's country night at the Abbotsford games.
And we have like rodeo stuff at Cloverdale. We don't go to.
I'm not into that at all in any way. No.
We feel bad for the baby cows.
Yeah, pretty much.
When I'm watching somebody, cattle rustle, I'm like, oh, that poor baby cow. That little thing scared, and now you're hog tying. That poor thing. So yeah, it doesn't work for me.
1 hour left. Do you see any big last minute deals?
The Rantanen one's probably going to be the big one. I can't see a team making a deal that's bigger than that. I'd be quite happy if they did. I don't think it happens.
There's other people that agree with me about country night. Though this year, Abbotsford's country night was nowhere near as bad as it has been in previous years.
There's been a proliferation of country music around.
A bunch of country music for like 3 games after that.
I've noticed that with NHL games this year too, where I'm like, oh,
but it hasn't been as bad recently. But there was like a week where way more country music. I really don't like country music.
No.
It just instantly irritates me.
I think it's because we don't have a dog or a pickup truck. We can't identify with it.
It's so depressing. I can't. Sorry, I can't.
Is it the twang or is it the voice?
Yes, all of it. You drink beer though. We don't.
I don't. I hate beer.
We do not drink beer.
I don't like beer.
Either.
I've never liked beer. I was so happy when I realized I don't have to drink beer. Because I don't like it.
Pass.
I remember my dad saying, well, you got a taste for it. And I'm like, no.
Acquire it.
No.
I don't want to acquire it. I'd rather just have things I like.
I'm not a fan of being made to like something that I don't like. Right? No.
Hearing another last second Vegas trade coming.
I would be very surprised if we don't see Vegas make some kind of deal. Probably come out right after noon my time, which would be right after the deadline.
Are there any dirt roads in Abbotsford? Of course there are. This is farmland.
Yeah.
We're in the mountains, but we grow the berries for Canada. We are in raspberry and blueberry land. There's a ton of dirt roads here. Of course there's dirt roads.
And so many blackberries.
Yes.
And you don't have to grow them. They're everywhere.
Blackberries in our yard.
They're everywhere. Blackberry bushes as far as the eye can see. Chilliwack, the same thing.
We're in Berryland.
In fact, when you're a kid, you have to kind of be an expert of reaching through the branches because you're like, oh, there's a fat
I was
one.
pretty good at it.
Okay, because you got thorns on everything. So you're like, okay, I got to. Sometimes I would get the girl next door to do it because she had like the tiny arms, so she could get through in areas that I couldn't.
I was pretty good at picking blackberries.
We used to get buckets of them.
Yep.
Buckets.
Do you think Gibson goes and where?
I don't think Gibson goes. I think the tricky part is Gibson has a 6 to move him right now.
Right there I am. Okay, is Mackie
Samoskevich.
There you go. An underrated player. I didn't want to kill that.
He is right now. I watched enough Florida games to know that Samoskevich is going to be a very good player. Next year, I think we could see Samoskevich hit that next level. So the Avalanche have acquired Coyle from the Bruins. So there you go. Boston officially selling.
What are Rangers' chances of kidnapping Mark Messier, attaching bolts to his neck, electrifying said bolts, thereby resurrecting his career in time for a deep playoff run? That could totally happen. Yeah, it's like
somebody's been watching Tim Burton movies.
Tim Burton.
That sounds like a Tim Burton hockey movie. Totally do that. I would say it's less likely, but I'm gonna rule it out. I don't rule things out.
Most country music sounds the same. See, that's the thing.
That is part of it.
Not a fan.
No.
What Tool song sums up this Canucks season?
Sober?
That's what I was thinking.
Sober. Yeah. Enema?
Swamp Song?
Not the happy ones. Not the happy Tool songs.
All the happy Tool songs. There's so many happy ones to choose from.
There are.
All right.
Schism's a happy song. It's all about making pieces fit.
46 and 2.
That's a happy one.
Totally happy.
Eulogy's a happy one too.
There you go. Okay. As a Rangers fan, I get the criticism towards Drury, but I think he's done a good job trying to get the right pieces in New York. If Rangers fail to make playoffs, are he and Laviolette toast?
I don't think so. I think Drury was kind of ruthless with how he did things with Gaudreau and then with Trouba. But I think adding Miller probably smoothed things over, and the Rangers have been better. I think his job's probably secure. Laviolette, you never know. He's coach. Coaches are hired to be fired.
Somebody's asking what's on your head.
It's
awesome
Wolverine.
hat.
It's a Wolverine hat.
I got it for him for his birthday, but since it went to our mailbox in the States, it got here.
Because I have a Deadpool jersey.
Because I'm not going down there to check mail.
I have a Deadpool jersey, so
I thought it would be really fun at Disneyland. It did not happen.
Nope. Because I didn't get it before we went down to Disneyland.
Surprised the Oilers didn't try and do more.
Well, the Oilers, see, that's the thing. We're not at that time yet. We don't know that they're done. Maybe they're not done.
Tool did not break up. Whatever. They didn't break up. They still haven't broke up.
They don't get along. Together. They don't get along with each other a lot of the time, but they haven't.
I wouldn't get along with people likely that I had been with
for 25 years.
Yeah.
30 years?
Since I was a teenager, like 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
But they have not broke up.
No. Thankfully, no.
Do you have a San Antonio Rampage jersey? And if Dallas extends Rantanen, do they have cap troubles since Johnston needs to be extended as well?
You cross that bridge when you come to it. As for San Antonio jersey, I do have a San Antonio jersey. I got one of those from Mike. And yeah, I think Dallas will be fine. They have time. Before having to worry about Johnston. Plus, Ben's contract's coming up soon. And if you need to trade out Sagan, you can figure something out there. I'm not worried about Dallas's cap situation right now.
Thoughts on how Seattle and Tampa Bay movement, and do you see either making more deals?
Tampa Bay is definitely in the rental market. They are determined to be a contending team. Seattle, whoever's on an expiring contract, may be gone by the end of the day.
Thank you for leading me to the Winnebago Man videos.
Those are great. The Winnebago Man is like, and I identify with him. Had you seen him before we met?
No, because I don't watch random videos online very often.
Random has got like 100 million views on that.
I don't watch a lot of the. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of stuff. Did I hear Shannon mention having relatives in Carleton Place?
Yep, Carleton Place.
Used to live and still have relatives in nearby
Almont.
Famous for Hallmark Christmas movies.
Oh yeah.
With Abbotsford.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple places. There's like 3 different places in Canada that all of the Hallmark movies are made.
Yeah, Almont would work. I've seen pictures of it.
Didn't hear if you answered this. Do you think Mikko finds his game again in Dallas? He seems to only play to his ability when he wants, as an Avs fan.
He was playing perfectly fine in Carolina. The puck just wasn't going in for him. All the analytics showed he was playing well. So I honestly think this is a solid. It's definitely a gamble by Dallas, but I think it's a good gamble. I think there's a good chance. Rantanen will be playing with Rope Hintz. That could work.
Most of YouTube and TikTok is for kids anyways.
Yeah.
My kids frequently, hey mom, did you see this video? Oh, you haven't seen this meme? I have.
We were doing that last night where I was watching videos with you that are from years ago that millions of people had watched, and you're like, I've never heard of it. No, never seen that.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not so up on all of the media stuff.
She's not hip on what all the kids are talking about these days.
All of the music, I'm like, yeah, it was #1. Cool, never heard it.
I just discovered Pink Pony Club a couple weeks ago, so that's where I'm at.
I knew what that is because we have a 12-year-old daughter.
It's a great song. What a great song.
Adelaide really likes different music than I do. Thoughts on Coyle to the Avalanche?
Coyle is a useful third line forward on a contending team, and I think that's a good injection of talent for them. I wish them all the best.
I am not a boomer, Shadow. Thank you. I am nowhere near old enough to be a boomer.
Hey, boomer.
Not a boomer. Not even close to a boomer. I'm not that old.
She's Gen Z.
I'm old. I'm a zennial.
Ugh. That's such a no.
Yup.
No.
Yup.
No, you're in Gen X with me. I don't care what they say.
I agree. When I was younger, I was Gen X, and then I got older, and then they changed when the Gen X date was, which is silly to me.
Yeah, agreed. That's
hey,
stupid.
Is there a chance for JJ
Peterka?
Okay, trade.
I don't think so. I think Peterka's a really good young goal scoring forward, and I think for Buffalo, you hold on to him. I think Peterka's an excellent pick for them.
Isn't that what a boomer would say? How old do you guys think I am? I mean, people don't generally guess I'm that much older.
You're older than me.
I'm not.
Are there any rainbow trout in Abbotsford? Naturally?
Yeah. We have a lot of trout here. Yes. We have a lot of trout. Naturally? If you go fishing. Yes. We have a lot of trout here. If you go fishing here, a lot of times you'll catch trout. We have trout in a lot of the rivers and lakes.
Those are ocean fish.
Trout?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they're ocean fish.
We have a lot of trout. We have a lot of salmon as well.
Definitely not rainbow trout. I would have noticed if there were rainbow
colored fish. I have caught
fish.
Rainbow trout when fishing.
You've caught a rainbow colored fish.
You're such a dork.
Well, they can't call it rainbow trout unless there's a rainbow.
There is a rainbow. Not like a cartoon rainbow. Boomer say what? See, he's going to be in trouble next meetup.
Not like he plays.
It's fine. He can hang out with me. And we can just talk about everybody.
Just there to laugh and watch and point.
Right? That's my job.
Yelling at me. Look at that old guy thinking he can run.
Yes. See, other people, we have a lot of trout. We do have a lot of trout. We have lots of trout.
I think I'd remember rainbow-colored fish.
I think that's the majority of the fish in the lakes and the rivers here are trout. Like if you go fishing, I've only ever caught trout.
You've caught trout?
I I mean, we have salmon, but you can't just catch salmon whenever you feel like.
No.
Are there any Bigfoot stories from BC? Yeah, we've got
Obviously.
Sasquatch Provincial Park isn't too far
Yeah.
from here. It's beautiful.
It is.
But yeah, of course they live here. And we've got the Ogopogo. It's like 3 hours from here. We've got all sorts of crazy wildlife here.
Well, the Ogopogo is a
Sturgeon.
It's a sturgeon.
Does Tampa trade
Perbix?
Maybe.
I don't think so. Young defenseman. I don't think they're in the mood to trade a defenseman in his prime unless they're going to get something really good for it.
Stop saying how close stuff is to you. Why? What if I want to? People like to learn about the different areas. I know that there's a lot of people in here that don't live anywhere near us or even live in this country or on this side of the world. And it's kind of cool hearing about what's in people's area. And we live in an awesome part of the world.
This is true.
I don't think I'm biased, but we live in a very, very beautiful part of the world. Oh, isn't my cup cute? I really like Dumbo. And despite what other people think, I really like the live action Dumbo because Tim Burton's great. I love that movie.
I know you do.
So I really like Dumbo.
I know.
BC is beautiful.
Absolutely.
We live in a very, very beautiful part of the world. We've got mountains,
fantastic.
rivers, lakes, ocean, tons more mountains, even more mountains, waterfalls.
That's why I find it kind of funny with like when we were down at Disney
here.
And in DCA they have like this jungle gym, like forest area, and I'm thinking we have this a lot at home. But sometimes I think we take that for granted. So there's that.
Are we married?
To each other?
Are we married? We're definitely married.
We're married, not to each other. Not yet. But
are there any bunnies in the room? Is there a bunny in the room?
Yeah, 2 of them down here.
Is there? Oh, yep, we've got 2. They're laying over by the TV. Dumbo is trippy kids movie back in the day. They were weird. I always liked it in the Heffalumps and Woozle part. I know it scared a lot of kids. That was my favorite part. I thought it was great. So, oh, well, no, not Heffalumps and Woozles. Heffalumps and Woozles was the Winnie the Pooh version of the same type of song. But that was cool too. The elephants on parade. There's a bun. That's licorice. Oh, Cinnabon. Cinnabon's at your feet. Just why are you holding him? Why you pick him up? Are you giving us treats?
Yeah, that's her look.
We don't joke about eating other people's pets, so no. I prefer if you don't joke about eating our pets. It's weird. That's a weird thing to do. Jets need to make a move. Avs versus Stars round 1 would be amazing.
Well, the Jets have made moves. They've added Brandon Tanev, and they've also added Luke Shen. So those are good picks. I think. Hey, Bun, stepping over.
Pacific Northwest. Well, we're in Canada, so we're definitely not the Northwest.
We're on the South Coast.
Lovely winters are dark and rainy. It's not just rainy in winter. It's rainy all year, except for July and August.
We measure our weather by how warm the rain is what I've always told people. The rain warms up. You go, well, it's rainy, but it's nice out here.
What kind of tea am I drinking right now? I've got a lavender Earl Grey, which is one of my favorites.
Are you sure?
I am sure. Okay. Earthquake country. We do have a lot of earthquakes, but they're not big.
We've had 3 in the last 2 weeks. They had another one yesterday.
It's been years that we've had lots of earthquakes. I'm usually the only one in our house that ever feels a ton of them lately. But they're never big ones yet.
Yeah, it feels like something's going on because we
had that like 10 years ago. There was a whole bunch of little ones as well. So that's not that unusual. What movie do you think the Lightning should make? What move do you think the Lightning should make next and do UC hockey going back to Arizona?
Utah's an expansion team. And what was the other part of that?
Is that it?
The Lightning, it'll be depth moves for the Lightning. They have to be happy with what they have. Arizona is still a franchise in the National Hockey League. They're considered inactive. So Utah's considered an expansion team, brand new organization. So in the event that Arizona is reactivated, we'd have an expansion draft, but it's a continuation of the Arizona Coyotes organization.
Have we been to the Yukon? No.
That's a place
we've
talked about.
That would be awesome. Do you ever drink unsweetened black tea? Yes. Especially in the summer. For iced tea? Absolutely. Do you think the Avs are done?
I mean, they've added Coyle. I think Coyle's a good pickup. They added Brock Nelson. I would think they're probably done outside of maybe a couple of depth moves.
I will not read chat that's in all caps. I don't like being yelled at, so I won't even read them. Just so you know.
True that.
When will we find out about Utah's team name?
I would think probably once the regular season's done.
If they're smart.
Anytime after the regular season.
If they could not do what other teams have done previously and announce it right before the season starts so that nobody gets to
Blue Jackets
get any of the merch.
Blue Jackets have acquired Cunnin. The Red Wings have added Craig Smith and Peter Mrazek. Mrazek's back with Detroit. So there you go.
She's wanting picked up. She feels left out. There's a Cinnabon.
I have not seen hockey, I haven't seen the return yet on Cunnin. I'll let you guys know when I see that. As for Ferraro, I haven't heard anything with Ferraro yet.
Okay, got that one. Him buttons. Isn't she cute?
Yeah, that's our two rabbits. That's the two rabbits that I have.
The two that hang out in this room. Have any UFOs landed in Abbotsford?
We don't get UFO sightings in Canada that often.
No. You know, the weirdest thing, that UFOs are really only ever seen in the U.S.
Usually.
Strangest thing, the aliens only want to go to that one country on the entire globe. It's so strange.
Plus, a lot of the time, what is a UFO today becomes, this is actually a new plane we've designed later. So okay. I remember the SR-71 Blackhawk was the most infamous example of that.
I can remember.
Yep.
Joe Veleno. What was that, like 90?
Veleno's going to Chicago.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Veleno for Mrazek and Craig Smith. That's not bad. I think Detroit did well. Craig Smith's playing well right now.
I only ever hear acquisitions are good from Shannon. What trades do you not?
Got to read between the lines. I've learned that the Canucks drafted Pettersson. I wasn't happy because I wanted Velarde. The internet roasted me for years on it. And right now, if I said, hey, should the Canucks trade Pettersson for Velarde? People would say, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. That'd save a lot of money. It's so weird how things have changed, but I still like Gabe Velarde a lot.
It's also only the most normal guy from iOS spotting UFOs. Weird. Yeah. I see UFOs all the time. It's mostly because I'm terrible at identifying different types of birds, so they were made unidentified.
Like I've seen things that I don't know what they are. I joke that with
my kiddos. That I don't. Yep. Well, I don't know what it is. So UFO.
I used to have to explain to people that the ones flashing different colors are satellites. And then this guy looks at me and actually says, well, it can't be American. It's not flashing red, white, and blue. And I was like, gosh. You think that it reflects the sun's colors in the country's flag colors?
How would they know it's not French?
And he was serious. It was a serious comment.
Oh, man.
And my head exploded in that moment. Because his girlfriend was a friend of mine that I used to talk astronomy with. And when he told that, she goes, that's really interesting. And I'm like, oh my God, she's how? I explained astronomy to her for years and it's just gone because cute boy. What? How?
Why is Shannon such a dork, Yvonne? Like what makes him a dork or the biological reason of his dorkdom? Because dorkdom. When I tell him, I do frequently remind him that he's a dork because somebody has to, and he'll say, why? Do I need to write a list?
Yes.
Or because there are so many reasons, like it'd be a book.
I want an itemized list. You have to fax it to my office. I would also appreciate some kind of reasonable hand-drawn facsimile of that. And then you need to call in on the landline.
Do you need to use your pager too while we're at it?
Actually, you know what? Yes. You could go ahead and ring my pager. That'd be greatly appreciated. You can contact me at AOL.com.
Who got the better haul for Mikko, Avs or Canes?
Man, that's a tough call. I think the Avs got the better haul, but the situations are quite different. And we'll see what those first-round draft picks become that Carolina got. I don't think the story's done yet.
Canadian UFOs are legally required to be shaped like a maple leaf.
Like moose
or
horns
moose.
on them. Moose horns on them. That's a Canadian UFO. It's got some moose horns on it. That's how you can tell it's Canadian.
Have you ever slept on a waterbed? Yes, because we lived through the 80s.
I love sleeping on a waterbed. We house sat for somebody, and
my parents had a waterbed.
This girl had a waterbed. Oh my gosh, it was just great. But they're not. I don't know. I loved it. I don't know if I'd love it at my age now.
My parents finally got rid of their waterbed because they realized how bad it was on their backs. But growing up, my parents had waterbed.
I think my uncle had one, but he also had a cat. So, ta-da.
Oh, that wouldn't work at all.
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine Bear with a waterbed?
Didn't work. It didn't work.
It'd be such a mess. I will never sleep on a waterbed because of Conjuring 3. I'm gonna guess something.
Does Beauvillier catch Mike Sillinger? He's played for a lot of teams. So's Luke Shen. Luke Shen's getting close to that record as well. I would love to see somebody catch that record of Mike Sillinger's. There also something came out of waterbed in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4.
Oh, okay. I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Canadian satellites were geese. This is way better than TSN, and sometimes there's cats and rabbits.
I'm looking to see. Oh, Maples and they're sleeping now in her.
Our cats' names are Linguini and Ravioli.
So there's Azrael.
Our guinea pigs are Chicken Nugget and Tater Tot.
I still don't know which one's which.
Tater Tot is the one that is darker, and Chicken Nugget has the lighter brown, like almost reddish spot.
You named them backwards because Chicken Nugget's the one that's braver of the two.
It's true. Well, somebody loves Bear. She doesn't love you. She's afraid of you.
Bear is my cat and her cat. And it took a while for her. Years.
To stare at me from across the room and just glare.
Yeah, our first few dates were really funny because Bear would just give her the death stare the whole time. And I kept saying, she's a really nice cat.
Oh, can I speak French? Not as well as I used to. I used to be able to speak French pretty well. I've been to France. My grandmother used to speak to me in French. My grandmother passed away. Gosh, so Gabriel's 18 next week. So 15 years ago. So I really haven't used French for 15 years.
I haven't used French for a long time.
So my French has really gone down. I can read it way better than I can speak it.
French was required in my elementary school because we were right next to the military base. And I took French up till grade 10.
I took French till grade 11. But yeah, I used to talk to my grandma in French, but I haven't used it in so long. It's not nearly as good as it is.
Like I have the jokes where I'll say the wrong words in French, but I only know to say the wrong words because I understand some French. And I intentionally butcher the accent as much as possible when I do
it. Who was better, E Honda or M Bison?
I am a big E Honda fan. In fact, on Geeky jerseys, they have an awesome E Honda jersey that I desperately want, but it's not in my budget right now. So I'm hoping at the end of this month, I'm going to be able to get that, or maybe it goes on sale. But yeah, E Honda. Bison to me was just a cheat code. Seriously, if you could figure out Bison in Street Fighter 2, he was kind of a cheat code. He was almost unbeatable if you figured out how to play as him. But for me, it was Honda. I beat the game so many times with Honda.
Oh, did you guys like the new Ghost song? Yes. Yep, I think
it's a good one.
I like it.
Yeah,
it's catchy.
Yeah.
Have you two ever been to Quebec? No, but I want to.
I'd love to go to Quebec.
I would really like to go to Quebec.
Yeah.
That's another place that I would really like to go.
And go through like French villages and just like, see the countryside, and like Quebec's supposed to be absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, there's just so much.
Yep.
It's huge though. You like baguettes with cheese? I mean, good job. Agreed, but is that all the French you know? My birthday is March 17th. Oh, St. Patrick's Day.
Don't you know?
My middle son's birthday is next Wednesday on the 12th, and then my birthday is on the 22nd. Where are you two from originally? My family's from Burnaby.
Birthday. Would you like some magnets for your birthday?
No.
Oh. What if they were NHL magnets crafted by hand? Would you like some of those for your birthday?
Such a dork.
What about rags? Do you need any rags for your birthday?
Like for cleaning your whiteboards?
Yes.
The cloths that I wash to clean your whiteboards, would they
They're
be
technically
dirty
my
ones?
cloths because I did buy them.
Yes, but I'm
So
the one that
saying.
washes them and frequently uses them.
But just imagine if they were yours.
I don't want them.
You could have it like on your hip. You have like your cleaning
that's
cloth
what I
on
need.
your hip.
More cleaning supplies. You don't ever give your wife cleaning supplies for her birthday. Just telling you right now, giving you warning advance notice.
Well,
this goes for all of you online too. You never give your wife cleaning supplies for her birthday or anniversary or Christmas or any other holiday for that matter. Don't do it. You may not wake up the next day. Just saying. My ex-husband gave me a broom for my birthday. Mother's Day. Mother's Day. His mom yelled at him.
Well, it is Mother's Day, and that's a mother's implement and tool. So,
love from Japan. You guys are the best 90s sitcom couple. Let's go with the Bruins rebuild Stanley Cup by 2033.
If it ends in the Stanley Cup, I'm happy.
90s sitcom couples are awful, though. Usually terrible people. Okay. Do you think Edmonton is done? That's why he's an ex. That's one of many reasons.
I don't know. I don't know if Edmonton's done. I know that we're going to be declaring winners and losers in a half an hour. I don't know if Edmonton's done. I think there's a lot Edmonton needs to look at. I think if they don't at least look at some sort of upgrade in net, I think they're crazy.
Shadow, you're on thin ice here, mister.
I mean,
thin ice.
Be okay if you did some baking. And
I just made cookies the other day, big whiner.
The other day being the key phrase there.
There's still cookies left.
Trades by the hour.
Been inhaled yet.
Okay, so 23 trades so far.
Any moves by the Leafs yet?
The Leafs picked up Scott Lawton. So now what they're talking about is, there's only been 10 trades so far today. It's been very quiet. Lawton's been picked up by Toronto. Yeah, the NHL record's 32. We had that on 2020 and 2022. Oh. I'm going to laugh if this trade deadline ends up being really quiet.
Who's on thin ice? Shadow. Shadow is on here. Because he's a brat. Do you think the Wings trade part of something bigger?
Not necessarily. I think Mrazek is a decent depth option in net, and Craig Smith's generally been playing really well lately for Chicago. So we'll see if that translates for Detroit. Veleno, it just wasn't working, and Veleno I think will fit in pretty well in Chicago. He's at that right age.
Which site should I check to see the record of trades?
Well, they're talking about it here on TSN. So TSN usually has all kinds of updates throughout the day. Considering how quiet this deadline has been so far, I'm sure they've probably got videos of people with sock puppets and whatever else to try to keep you occupied while the trade deadlines. This is why we don't do the trade deadline live stream early because we did that first couple
once,
years.
And there was a whole lot of nothing, and everybody kept saying, "When are they going to do something?"
So I think it was Sportsnet. It started at 5 a.m. our time this morning.
Dear Lord.
So they've been doing this for like 7 hours.
Pass.
For 10 trades. And that includes Luke Shen going to Winnipeg for a couple draft picks.
Pass.
this, like, I understand it's trade deadline and it's a big deal, but these shows don't need to be 7 hours.
Does Minnesota have any chance now? Stars have Rantanen.
Minnesota absolutely does have a chance, but they have to get healthy. Minnesota without Kaprizov does not get out of the first round.
Where are all of the cats? We have a bunch of cats on the tree, right? There's you can't see it. Okay. There's like 3 cats on one
Shadow's
tree.
here, Maple's right here, and Bear's right there.
Bear's in there.
So if I tilt that like that, you can see Maple right there. So that's where the cats are. That's why I moved this in a little bit.
Pixel's probably in the rec room.
Probably in our room.
Might be. She was following me around earlier. And Azrael's probably upstairs.
Azrael chirped to go over and have something to eat, and then she left. She always announces when she's going to do something. So now they're talking to Rantanen on TSN about the trade.
Let's see. Kings big trade or no?
The Kings have made a trade. And again, I'll be doing up a video. I'll be doing up a board with the trades on it and who got traded where and everything. The Kings have made a trade, but I don't think they need anything major. I don't think the Kings are that far off. They have to figure out why they're so damn good at home and they're lousy on the road. They have to figure that out. Similarly to Columbus, and pretty much more egregious because they're so good at home and they're really not good on the road.
No, we don't have any dogs because we have 5 cats and 5 rabbits and 3 children. And one of those children are special needs and aren't always the best with animals. So we can't have the possibility that a kiddo would be bitten by a dog.
Why was Scheifele left out of Four Nations Canada? Anytime that a Canadian team gets picked, I always get the feeling that there's certain players that they're more familiar with, certain players that maybe they really like over other players. So it's not necessarily just, okay, these are the best guys. They're trying to come up with a team that they feel like, oh, these guys will all get along. And I personally am for bringing all the best guys, but they felt Scheifele being left off. Scheifele was the next forward that was going to get called up if there was a need due to injury. It just didn't happen.
Do you think the Flames are blowing this deadline? In my opinion, they need to sell. Such a seller's market.
But Calgary's in a playoff spot. And they've already, Craig Conroy's already told these guys, we're good, and I'm not, we're not doing a fire sale. And I think a fire sale would send a message to the team that's, I don't think that would work out.
Do you and Shannon like the Kings throwback purple and gold versus the silver and black?
We want purple.
My favorite's the purple and black. That's my very favorite. Yeah. The purple, silver, and black with the coat of arms.
Yeah.
That's my favorite King.
The the Sacramento Kings colors.
But I do like the purple and gold as well. It's different.
Yeah.
I mean, I know nobody else has black and silver, but so many teams have black.
Cody Glass is going to New Jersey. So Cody Glass is off to the Devils.
What is your oldest jersey? Has to be Canucks, right? Or the Boston.
Yeah, the first jersey I ever had was Vancouver.
Yeah, you have that Canucks one
the white one with the orange and gold.
Fixed.
Yeah.
Because it was
that'd be my oldest.
It was a sad.
And then
I
got Boston and Minnesota after that, like months after that.
They're probably done making moves, but I would like to see one more big move by the Rangers trading Kreider or Lafreniere. But these are moves. Okay. More likely to happen now in the off season.
I don't know if Kreider goes. I don't think they trade Lafreniere. They've just signed him to that long-term extension. I think Lafreniere's going to play out with the Rangers for at least another year. Kreider could end up being on his way out. Remember, he's hurt though too, so that hurts his value. And Kreider hasn't had the best of seasons either.
We definitely need more purple in the NHL. I'm really hoping Utah still uses purple and not just stick with the blue and black and white. I hope they add purple as an accent color. as what the owner was talking about with the sky and everything. I think purple
Yeah.
would work really, really well with
Yeah.
that, and that'd be cool.
NHL should go back to home team wearing white. Agree. I don't think it ever happens because usually your specialty jerseys, your third jerseys, are dark jerseys. For instance, this one right here, this is the third jersey for the Flames, and they wear that at home.
I think they shouldn't have to do either colors or white at home or away because they have so many colors.
I was surprised nobody picked up on that at Four Nations. The final between Canada and the U.S. was a team wearing red and a team wearing blue.
And
nobody
fine.
had a problem telling which team was which.
We don't have black and white TVs anymore. Why does it have to be black and white?
That's why it's white versus dark, is because people used to have black and white TVs, and you couldn't tell when Detroit was against Toronto. You couldn't tell who was who, or Montreal was against Detroit.
But the Jets not wearing white at home in the playoffs is just wrong.
It's weird because everybody's wearing
Everybody
white
else is wearing
except
white,
the team.
Right? That irritates me.
So should they do a blue out?
No, it doesn't. That wouldn't look as cool. That wouldn't be as cool.
They could do like a Blues Clues crossover.
It's a different color of blue.
Would they bring in Steve?
They can totally bring in Steve. He's great. Okay. Why is there a belief Tampa is near the end of their run? Head, Mac, Cooch are older, but Point, Vasi, Hagel, Karnak, and Gensel so on are 30 and below.
Because you can't replace Hedman and you can't replace Kucherov. There is nobody in that lineup who's going to be the next Victor Hedman. So at some point in time, Tampa Bay will fall down in the standings as those players get older. And then it's a matter of trying to replace them. And you can only draft a guy like Hedman. You're never going to get a guy like that in a trade.
Thoughts on Wyatt Johnson being extended. Thoughts on Stars being odds on Cup favorites.
Don't look at me. I picked Dallas before the season started. So everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon now. Fine. As for Johnston, he's going to get paid. Johnston's one of my favorite forwards in the league. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him in, say, like the $10 million range, because a lot of forwards are going to be in that range with the salary cap going up.
They could just wear different colored helmets. As long as we're not all going with like the gold and silver and silliness, those just look so goofy.
Because Vegas won't wear the shiny helmets with their silver, with their gold jerseys.
They would still look goofy. Because I see the Henderson Silver Knights, and they've got those. They're foil helmets. It's the
they need to do a Battlestar Galactica tie-in
every time. It's goofy.
They need to do a Battlestar Galactica and have like the Cylon thing on the front, the little red back and forth, red light back and forth, and then you could do a Knight Rider thing too, because Kit from Knight Rider was the original Cylon.
What is the ugliest jersey ever? Flying V.
It's not.
It is.
Nope. Nope.
I mean, okay. Oh no, the one that's like the ugly color. Yeah, that one's hideous. There's some ugly ones. The Kings one, that's pretty. Whoa, the color went weird for a second. The Kings one, yeah. Look at that hideous color. That is just like the ugliest color ever. Yeah, the Chrome Dumbs look so bad. They do. They're silly looking. I like the Mooterus. The Mooterus is fun because it's so ridiculous. It's like this. That's so silly, but it's fun. I like the Mooterus. The Mustard Meth Cat looks awesome. It's so ugly. See, I like that. I think it's fun.
And the star on the sleeve.
There's worse.
And this is an actual authentic on-ice Mooterus. I got this from Ben. It's an authentic Mooterus. I love that it says authentic, so it's an authentic Mooterus.
Oh, that Bruins jersey. Shannon would never pick one of the Bruins jerseys. The Buffa Slug. That one's funny, though. That jersey is way uglier, though, than Buffa Slug. Shannon would never pick that jersey as being ugly.
I love it.
I know. He would never pick it. But yeah, it is a Nashville jersey. Like, it stands out. Look at how ugly that is. And when you're close up, it's even uglier. Right? See, the Stars jersey is fun. No, I can see the jersey that I'm thinking of. Right there. That one is. See, isn't that one ugly? I think that one's awful. But it has to be. What's wrong with that bear? I think it has to be either the Canucks Flying V or that Nashville's a pretty darn close second. And the Canuck one, it has the big skate logo on the elbow, so it's a really awkward jersey to wear as well. Oh, the Barbershop Montreal one. I think that was to blind the opponents. Right? I think that's a good theory. Oh, Shannon's looking for things now.
Sweaters.
Which sweater are you looking for?
Sweater.
Blinding. Can you imagine playing against people like that? Like, have you ever driven in the snow when it's dark out and you get like that snow blindness? Shannon's off on a jersey hunt. Had to go to Narnia.
Yeah, I don't have a Narnia in here.
I know.
Used to.
If you ever move, you need a cargo plane only for all those jerseys. Last time we moved.
This one's not ugly. I don't get to wear
somebody,
this one.
Somebody asked about this earlier in the chat too. He has a few. Don't you have 3 Solar Bears?
No, I just have this one. This is my only Solar Bears jersey.
Okay,
right
I thought you had one in the other color.
Oh.
But we actually have racks like they have at stores with wheels, and we just rolled them onto the moving truck, and it made it so much easier. It actually wasn't too hard. Because if we put them all in bins or something.
Well, because those racks were only like
some of them,
like a couple of them I got for like $50. So it was like, for $50 they hold they can hold up to 250
and we
jerseys.
Them quite a bit.
So done. Or no, 125. I think.
Do you have any Everblades jerseys?
No, I don't have Florida Everblades.
Do I ever wear the Kraken jersey? I wore a Kraken jersey fairly recently.
I got asked about this one.
It's like in a live stream. I'm trying to think. It was only a few live streams ago I wore a Kraken jersey.
Cincinnati Cyclones. So.
And I have a Kraken jacket that I really like that I wear quite a bit.
You could just call that your Kraken. Kraken jacket is a Kraken.
Marner depends with 30 million plus in space, fast rebuild.
I'd be very surprised to see Marner get traded.
Do you have any KHL jerseys?
I have just the one. But that was Jokerit. And the last time I wore Jokerit, people got all snippy because it's the Jokerit KHL jersey. So yeah, that's the only one I have.
Any IHL jerseys?
No, I've been looking at maybe getting a Vipers. Royal Retros has some throwbacks to IHL jerseys. I've thought about picking up a couple.
Have you ever seen the Solar Bears alternate? It looks so weird. The bear looks like Stalker.
I think that Solar Bears I have. I think that was the 3rd jersey for them at one point. So I haven't seen the other one though that you're talking about. I haven't seen that one.
Any SPHL jerseys? Go Rail Yard Dogs. Oh man, see now they're just asking about all the jerseys now. This is now turned into a jersey live stream.
I'm sorry.
Oh, PWHL jerseys.
Yeah, I have 3. I got Scepters. I got Scepters the other day. So I have 3 PWHL jerseys now. Where's Roanoke?
Oh, Minnesota Moose jerseys are fun.
Well, I got a bunch of Moose jerseys.
Yes, but I've seen the Minnesota Moose ones. Oh, FPHL jerseys. Oh, Kelowna Rockets. You don't have one of those, right? We had one, but it was really small. It was like a youth jersey. So our
SPHL,
No, Adelaide has that.
I have a Roanoke rail yard dogs. It's somewhere in here, in there. And I've also got a Mississippi, which is not in the collection because Mississippi went under.
Isn't that one in the garage?
Yeah, because Mississippi went under. So I'm sorry, I got Mississippi and they went under.
Which jersey was used in the War of 1812?
Well, that would have been one of the blinding ones, the Montreal War. So that way the Canadians could identify each other on the battlefield just by the blindingness of it. But they had like a little like fern on their heads for like camouflage. So that way it looked like it was a curtain under a fern. That was how they did that. They were called the Fernies. I'm surprised you're not aware of this. So they'd be like, is that foreign soldier? No, it's one of them ferns again with those weird skirts underneath it. All right. Keep looking for those soldiers. You got it. Will do, sir. So 4D chess when everybody else is playing Risk.
With Leon Talbot Mrazek, do we see one moved?
Lion's been interesting with Lion lately. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Talbot and Mrazek at playoff time.
Athens Rock Lobsters have nice jerseys.
Well, with a name like that, you have to, don't you? Do the B-52s have some kind of ownership in it?
Did they get it from the B-52s or? Okay. Do the Canucks try and move Besser?
I'm sure that they're listening. It comes down to if he doesn't get traded today, maybe they re-sign him.
Shannon definitely has the Johnny Canuck jersey.
Yeah,
and then we got the Abbotsford team, and so then even more Johnny Canuck jerseys. Yep. And then they did that reverse retro with Johnny on it. So there's a lot of Johnny Canuck.
I've got 4 Johnny Canuck jerseys. I can almost have a Johnny Canuck team.
Yeah, you've got the old one, reverse retro, Abbotsford ones.
Yep.
Lots of Johnny Canuck. My birthday was yesterday. My birthday wish was for an Oiler upgrade in net or a Marchand trade to Edmonton.
Well, happy birthday, and I'm sorry at the same time because neither of those things have happened.
Devils making the playoffs, yes or no?
Yes. Devils still make the playoffs. It's going to be tough for them to win without Jack Hughes, though.
Wish the Jets would do a throwback to either the IHL Moose jersey or the powder blue Atlanta. I know the Moose did a throwback IHL already.
I can't see the Jets.
I don't think they would do.
Not Atlanta.
No.
I can't see it.
It would be awesome, but I don't think that would happen.
Minnesota, I could see them doing a Moose throwback, but of course that would just be in the AHL. So I could see the Manitoba Moose doing something where they do a throwback to like the Minnesota Moose colors. But
if they do something like the reverse retro again, I think it'd be really fun if they did a red jersey because they've got red as the accent color.
See, and
I think red would be really fun.
5-year, $42 million extension with Johnston. $8.5 million for Johnston. That's a bargain. That's great. Jim Nill did such a good job today. I'm so proud of Jim Nill. Vaakanainen signs a 2-year extension. See, I didn't know that Johnston. That's great. Yay, Johnston got an extension. Good for him.
Do you think it's smart the Blues haven't made any big splashes considering they're a fringe playoff team?
Yep. There's no reason to make any additions necessarily. I know having Parayko out hurts, but you don't want to be spending future assets. You don't want to be picking up rentals. Sometimes standing pat makes sense.
What do the Kings have to do to win road? Because winning on home is great, but losing on the road is not good.
It's got to be a mindset. Like, I know that the other team gets last change, but this can't just be a last change thing. There's something they're doing at home they're not doing on the road. And that's really on Rob Blake. Rob Blake has to figure that out and help to fix that. And I know that the coach needs to as well, but the general manager needs to know which pieces aren't going on the road and try to make sense of it and make a move if he needs to.
Rumor Canucks are shopping Quinn Hughes. Why?
They're not shopping Hughes. There's no chance they're shopping Hughes.
We need your playoff beard while the Canucks keep playing.
No, we don't. I like my wife being attracted to me. So me growing a beard would be kind of.
I vote no on that.
I could see her just walk after me going, "What is
Why?
this?
What's going on?
Why?
With your
Why
face?
is this?"
He'd just be sleeping and he'd wake up and it would be gone. It'd be like magic. Who knows what happened?
Because facial hair gets really scratchy.
It does.
And mine is like a wire brush. So like
I don't need to exfoliate my
even the
face.
stubble exfoliates her face. So like I like my wife liking me. So I can't grow a playoff beard.
Does the NHL do fashion jerseys again? Like starter. They used to do a lot of fashion jerseys.
There's a reason I wore that red Buffalo one.
They didn't really sell though.
And I know Fanatics occasionally sees my videos here and there, at least people from the Fanatics team. So if they're watching, fashion jerseys. If you guys need help on some kind of suggestions, I'm available. I won't ask anything for consultation. I have all kinds of ideas for how jerseys could be awesome.
Avs fan here. Why did we do something crazy like trade Middlestat for Coyle? Middlestat's much better.
Coyle's having a good year. Boston can't score. You can't look at Coyle's numbers and throw that on him necessarily. I think it's a good pickup. I think that he's a more veteran presence than Middlestat, and I think when you pair that with the addition of Nelson, I think it works. Hopefully Middlestat also refines his game in Boston.
Shannon doesn't need to do a man bun either. He would look so old.
My dad.
That would make you look really
old. My dad
old.
had a ponytail at my age while he was all bald on top. And I was like, what are you doing?
That sounds very 80s.
Oh, but it wasn't
with the glasses.
It wasn't 80s. He was doing this in the early 2000s. It was a decision he made on purpose. It's one of those things that
would not be good.
I will say this. I'm very grateful that my father showed me these things since we look very similar, so I could go, no,
I won't do that.
He had the comb over too, which was funny because then he'd drive with the windows open. So then his comb over, which was like ice cream, like just ice cream. And so he'd swirl it onto his head like it'd be up like this high from his. And I'm not allowed to laugh. I get in trouble for laughing. I'm like, Dad, your hair's waving out the window. Like
my dad totally had the ponytail and the bald on top too.
Did he swirl it?
No. He didn't do any. He just pulled it back and had it in the low ponytail.
No.
He did that.
No, I keep my hair short, and since I'm going bald, and I've known I was going bald from when I was a kid because every man on both sides of the family was bald. That's why I had to tell my kid that at one point. He's like, well, maybe I'll keep him. Like, no, you're not keeping yours.
You will not.
He already had the widow's peak. And I'm like, dude, you're not keeping your hair. But if nope, don't care what you do. You're not keeping
it. Asheville Smoke jersey was crazy, but very 90s. Puff the Magic Dragon on steroids. Still remember the year they played Knoxville Speed, half the schedule, and had bench clearing fights.
That sounds very 90s right there.
Yeah.
Fighting.
Somebody gifted memberships. That's awesome.
Wow. Greatly appreciated.
Anyone rock the skullet again? I don't understand how the mullet came back.
Ironically, I didn't think anybody'd keep it.
Dude, and people their kids have mullets.
Have you seen the anthem singer in Ottawa with the perm mullet?
Oh man.
It's like they just grabbed somebody from 1985 and brought him to sing anthems for the Ottawa Senators. And then they show him in the crowd too. He's probably a season ticket holder like Hannah for the Kings. Right. And he's a good singer. I'm like, cool. So now more people, it's almost like if Gowan, came out from 1985 and just they bring him here. I think Gowan's still got the mullet. We should go see Gowan. I think he's coming to Vancouver or to one of the casinos. We could go catch Gowan. We could listen to a bunch of Gowan between now and then.
I'd rather not.
Strange Animal.
I love
Criminal Mind. Criminal Mind's a fantastic song. Criminal Mind by Gowan is one of the best overall songs ever, and the video's fantastic.
Wings are getting so many shots on goal. Surely more goals will start going in, right?
They should, depending on high danger chances. And they're like they outplayed they've outplayed their opponent the last couple of games. They just haven't had a result. So you have to think eventually it's going to turn for them. We're 2.5 minutes from the deadline, and all they're talking about is how things haven't happened.
All the time. Every year.
Here's what hasn't happened.
Every year. Is Jim Montgomery bald?
Yeah. A lot of coaches are bald. They got Lalonde right now on TSN. He's bald. So, yeah, a lot of it. Because once men get older, they have that option. Women don't, but men do. You just shave it off.
Any idea why the Leafs didn't do anything to move the needle?
I honestly think adding Lawton was a good move. I think Lawton was a good move for them. Toronto is not far off. And I've said this for years. Toronto's biggest enemy is right between the ears. They get in their own heads, and as soon as things start going against them in a big game, they fold. And that is psychological as much as anything else. That's what needs to be fixed with Toronto.
Yes, Shannon will be doing a video after this to summarize everything.
I'll be doing a couple of videos.
Yeah, he always does. Yep. Looks like PWHL game in Raleigh tonight is almost sold out of the seats available.
11,500.
It's pretty solid. Vancouver sold out so quick.
Vancouver sold out in hours.
I wanted to go to the Vancouver game. It sold out so fast.
Yep.
So
PWHL is doing very, very well.
Disappointing. I hope they come back. Maybe it'll be like an annual thing where they go to different arenas or something. Because I really wanted to go. And that is correct. I will not read comments that are in cap lock.
Absolutely.
I do not appreciate being yelled at. I have children. I'm yelled at enough as it is. So I don't do it on the internet.
And yes, Cody Glass has gone to New Jersey. Glass has been useful for Pittsburgh at points this season. He's a 3rd/4th liner. Should be fine. I'm not seeing some of the returns on some of these trades, though. But yeah, only 11 trades so far. 17 players and 15 picks.
Right. Then you get the whiteboard. Correct. After all this, then you get the whiteboard.
I've tried using the whiteboard during the live stream. It does not work because then everybody's yelling out trades. Maybe that's why we're not getting trades, because there's no whiteboard. So GMs are like, what's the point?
It's your fault.
If we can't upset the hockey guy, what's the point?
See, another thing that's Shannon's fault.
Yeah, I made no trades happen by not having the whiteboard here because I normally can't keep up.
Sorry, I'm late. Appreciate your work as always. Thoughts on the Cousins trade? Seems like a slight downgrade by Buffalo on skill, but didn't realize Norris was even a bit more expensive, injury prone too.
Norris can be a 35 goal scorer. Yes, he's injury prone. They needed to trade Cousins, and I'm guessing this was the best offer that was available to them. Bernard Dockers had a good year too in the games that he's played for Ottawa, so that could be quietly a good pickup for them. I'm surprised Byram's still there, though. Byram has not been traded by Buffalo.
So now we have hit the trade deadline, but that doesn't mean we won't still hear trades.
Yeah. So we'll stay on for a little bit longer.
Get there.
The trade stuff and what went down after we're done the live stream.
What are the
biggest deal of the day? Rantanen going to Dallas in exchange for Stankoven and a couple of firsts. I'm not happy that Stankoven's gone. Middlestad deal is going to be a good one, although the Cousins trade's a pretty big one too. It does feel like there's some more hockey to some of these trades than just rentals, which I appreciate. Feels like there's more thoughtfulness, but a lot of the trades already took place before today as well.
Any interest in doing a video about the most injured teams of the past decade?
I feel like I pick on Minnesota enough as it is. I talked about them early in the season and how I felt like they were a contender. And please let Jesse Pierce know I apologize, because since then it's been injury after injury after injury.
Shannon's just been intentionally jinxing teams.
And if people aren't listening to Bar Down Beauties, I'll go ahead and I'll prop up their podcast here, because those ladies do a good job. And I screwed over Minnesota by talking about how they were contenders. I should have said they were pretenders. I feel kind of responsible. Ever since then, it's just been everybody going down with injury. So Jesse, I apologize.
Oh, somebody's asking about the quarter century videos.
They'll be starting up again when the trade deadline's finished. I've got 2 boards done. It's just a matter of resuming that, and then I've got the last. I've got them all right here, so I've got all of them. It's always funny because I have a way of organizing things in here, which she doesn't understand. Nobody understands, but random piles are not as random as they look.
Random piles everywhere.
The random piles always have a point. And at trade deadline, the point is I need all the logos so all the magnets are on the desk.
So I have to try and clean the room without disrupting piles that actually mean something, but put away piles that are just piles.
You married Rain Man.
Yes, it's true. Who squirrels everything everywhere. All of the places.
I do squirrel things away, and sometimes I remember where I squirreled it away, and sometimes I don't.
A lot of times, I don't think you even know that you set it down, because seriously, why is this garbage on this bookshelf? Are you saving it, or can I put this in the recycling? Do we need it on this bookshelf? Does this need to be in the washroom? Probably not. Did Tampa set the market with the Gord trade, or did you think that was Seattle's asking price?
That was probably Seattle's asking price. It didn't end up being as expensive a trade deadline as expected. However, a lot of players didn't get moved unless we hear about it now. So there's always trades come out after the deadline's officially passed. Maybe Besser gets moved. Obviously, Byram not being traded as well as Besser not being traded. There's been rumors of Besser trade for a while. Maybe something happens where Byram ends up in Vancouver. Maybe a 3-way deal where Besser ends up going to Minnesota through Buffalo. I'm just at this point, I'm just fantasy booking because now we're past the deadline. So nobody can be like, oh, look what THG's reporting. Nope, because deadline's passed. And I still think we'll hear at least a couple of deals afternoon.
Been watching old Benoit matches versus Edge, Orton,
Guerrero.
Okay. Angle and others. Talk about talented.
Chris Benoit at the time was my favorite wrestler. And then after what happened, that was over. So I don't watch Benoit matches. I can't enjoy that knowing how everything ended with him and his family. It's tragic. But he was a very talented wrestler who never overcame his demons. The Panthers are potentially acquiring Brad Marchand. So this is where
about to read that out.
This is where when people are like, the deadline's passed, nothing's happened. Marchand going to Florida.
Yeah.
How do him and Sam Bennett? How do they discuss things with each other? Is it just water under the bridge, or does he get a free shot?
How do the Panthers have the cap for this?
That's the thing. It's probably going to involve a third party. So if Marchand goes to the Panthers, Florida has a very good chance of repeating because that's insane if they add Marchand. Just absolutely insane.
Video on teams' playoff success or lack of it every season when they make big trades. It seems a few teams make a huge trade but putter out.
I'm going to do something on that. I've talked about it for a while. I'm going to do something on that because it is always, you're going to see it. Well, this team clearly wins deadline day, and now they're a favorite for the cup. And then playoff time, they're out the first or second round. I remember way back when the first year that Nashville was looking like they might be a contender, they went out and got Peter Forsberg, and it just did not work. So that's one example. Rick Nash to the Bruins comes to mind as well. Yeah, the big deals very often don't work.
Do either of us have any hidden skills?
Do you have any spoons in here? I used to play the spoons a lot.
I don't know that any of my talents are hidden.
You're more flexible.
I am very flexible. I don't know.
I mean, you could do like.
But
there you go. But it wouldn't show on camera. You just basically head down and I go, yeah, she's in the splits.
Totally doing it right now.
Yeah. In fact, I'm doing it right now. I can play the
saxophone. How's that?
Oh, look at this. Look at this. I'm in the splits. Look at this. Oh, I can't hold that. Okay. Oh. Whew. That was a lot.
I do all sorts of crafty stuff. I'm really good. I'm a pretty good seamstress.
Yes.
I am. And I knit and I crochet and I do all sorts of crafty stuff.
TSN saying it's a done deal that the Panthers acquire Brad Marchand from the Bruins.
Need to know Shannon and Yvonne's favorite pizza place in Abbotsford. Crap, I just forgot the name of it.
Spaghetti Factory?
It's not pizza. No, what's the name? Dream Pizza. I like Dream Pizza. That one's fun. We have so many pizza places in Abbotsford, and
Old Spaghetti Factory.
We don't eat a lot of pizza, but we have a lot of like local pizza places.
We don't like, and a lot of it's just chains.
There's a lot that aren't in Abbotsford. There's a lot that aren't. There's
if you go out to Chilliwack,
the Indian.
If you go out to Chilliwack, Jim's Pizza is pretty good.
We have Jim's Pizza here.
It's different. Different owners made different. The ones in Chilliwack are made different. Different ownership, completely different way of doing it. But I lived upstairs from Jim's Pizza, so I got tired of Jim's Pizza personally. Like, I know at my old workplace, they'd be like, well, we're working you guys overtime. We're going to order pizza. And I'm like, ugh. And they're like, don't you want to come out for some pizza? I'm like, is it from Jim's? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I just had that last night, so no.
Did I miss the Mark Stone on LTIR announcement?
They don't need to put Mark Stone. See, this is the funny thing is, Shea Theodore is legitimately hurt. If they wanted to use the LTIR loophole, they could do that with Shea Theodore. They don't need Stone to do it. But Vegas was quiet today, as expected.
Thoughts on Flyers deadline?
The Flyers selling on Lawton. I mean, nothing's really changed for them. Grabenkin could be a good pickup. I don't know how much upside's there with Grabenkin though. I think the Flyers probably did about as well as could be hoped. I'm kind of disappointed Columbus didn't get more done considering the amount of cap space they have, but I guess they didn't like the market.
We are not from Vancouver. Neither of us have ever lived in Vancouver.
I can't afford to live in Vancouver.
We live in the Valley.
Costs like
we live in
Abbotsford for a
Abbotsford.
tiny one-bedroom apartment.
We do not live in Vancouver. My family is from Burnaby, but we are not from Vancouver.
So your family was probably like neighbors with Mike at some point in
time. Well, Mike hasn't lived in Burnaby that long. And he's on the other side of the highway. Did the Jets do enough today for a cup run?
Yes. I'll say yes because the Winnipeg Jets have been the best team in the league all season. Last I checked, they were number one on my power rankings last week. So
even though he tried to jinx them, he was doing it on purpose because he wanted to get his Stars to number one. It was totally on purpose.
Maple Leafs acquire Brandon Carlo from the Bruins. So Brandon Carlo is headed to Toronto. Marchand's off to Florida. Boston is finally selling.
Decided they need to do something.
Wow.
Burnaby, Idaho. That's it. Burnaby, Idaho.
I'm kind of scared because I haven't seen the return yet. And if the return is bad, I'm not going to be very happy with Don Sweeney, but we'll see.
Can Tampa still win the division?
Or is Florida still the favorite? Tampa Bay can absolutely win that division. Absolutely can. It's going to be between the three teams that are up there, and any of the three can win it. I think it's most important for Toronto to win the division, though, of the three teams. I don't think they want Tampa in the first round, and I don't think they want Florida in the first round. I think getting first place in the division and getting a chance to play against probably either the Rangers, maybe Columbus, I think that favors Toronto more in the first round. I think if they're against Florida or Tampa in the first round, they could be out again.
Okay. Shannon knows better than to risk the Stars getting the President's Cup. Shannon doesn't believe in that jinx. So.
No, it's a 32-team league, so finishing first is nice, but it doesn't really prove anything. And the playoffs have definitely revealed that too. That being first in the regular season is fine. Playoffs are a different beast.
There's a whole lot of wait, what's going on?
Yep. Maple Leafs have acquired Brandon
Carlo. You guys
Carlo.
were saying that this trade deadline was boring, and then this is what happened.
Marchand goes to Florida.
Because you guys called it boring. It's what did it.
Don Sweeney's watching the live stream. He's like, I'll liven it up.
Should Calgary have sold today?
No. What are you selling? Which pieces does Calgary want to sell right now?
Does anyone still play for the Bruins? Jim Nill cooked today. Rantanen and signing Johnston to an extension. GM of the year again.
I cannot argue with that. He got Rantanen signed. He signed Johnston. I am so happy that Wyatt Johnston's been re-signed. That cap hit is so reasonable for Johnston. Honestly, he is such a dynamic forward, and he's just starting to show what he can do. It's insane.
Silence from the Canucks is deafening.
I think the Canucks might have overestimated the interest on their players. That's my guess.
Jim Nill masterclass.
Jim Nill's fantastic. I have nothing bad to say. The last time I complained about Jim Nill was when Lehtinen and Niemi were the goaltending tandem, and they were costing him $9,000 a year. $9 million a year. It's the goaltending was $9,000 range. But $9 million is what they were paying, and that was frustrating. But since then, I've had nothing bad to say about Jim Nill as a general manager.
Are the Stars now your number one team, Shannon?
No, but they were my pick for the Stanley Cup before the season started. So everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon now can, but I was there at the beginning. So they're not there. No, the Canucks are my favorite team. Nothing's going to change that. It also means I get most upset and angry with things because my heart and soul is invested, sadly, in a team that will always disappoint me.
Sounded like you said that you were infested.
Oh, it's infested. It's an infestation. Definitely. It is.
Did Bruins just hit self-destruct? Marchand, heartbroken. Why?
Boston is not making the playoffs. Boston would have been foolish to try to rearm and go for a playoff spot. It's about time they pulled the plug. They should have pulled the plug a while ago, to be honest. This team need more young centers. So getting Middlestad makes sense from that perspective. And they just need to look to the future.
Do you think it's possible for the Canucks to go on a run if they make the playoffs?
No. I do not think that as the Canucks are constituted right now, this team has much hope for a run. But 1994, before that team went on a run in 94, they did not look like a very good team. The Avalanche have reacquired Eric Johnson from the Flyers. So the Flyers got Johnson to not retire and stay, and now he gets to go to Colorado and try to win another Stanley Cup.
I see Adam posting in the comments section, which reminds me, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video. That definitely helps out our channel. He's also put links to our Discord. We have quite a large Discord. We've got channels for game day chats for each of the games, so you can talk to other people while they're watching.
Absolutely.
Got team chats and all sorts of other things. It's kind of fun. What else? All of the things.
We're going to be releasing a new merchandise line through Fourth Wall. We're working with Fourth Wall on that.
On it for like
She's
a
been
month.
doing a lot of work on designs and stuff like that. So if you guys have any like phrases, things that I might say in videos that might work on t-shirts, that kind of thing, go ahead and
it works.
Let us know.
Very. What did I just do to my hair? It works very different than spring, so there's a bit of a learning curve for me.
It's gonna be much better though.
But it looks like we have a whole lot more options, and it works better. And I can actually arrange how the shop is and such. And there's a possibility of us being able to do jerseys in the future, which I know people have been asking us to do for like 6 years now.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't figure out a way. So that possibility is coming. It's a lot of work though. So
yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
NHL saw the Luka trade and said, we can almost top that today with the deadline.
There's been a lot of talk about how other sports like the NBA, NFL, and even Major League Baseball, that you see all this movement you don't see with the NHL. Trade deadline definitely evens things out a little bit, although it's just the one day, right?
I see a lot of Rat Cat welcome back shirt. How did you like if I did the THG logo like under it or something?
Or welcome back on the back of it.
Could maybe. Yeah, I'll have to think
you just
about
put
that.
welcome on the back because that's the back. Welcome back.
That'd be so confusing.
You're confusing.
I'm sure. Love you, THG and Yvonne. Keep up the best hockey media in the world.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. So yeah, Shannon does say that a lot. Bruins better be getting 2 first-round picks.
Marchand's a rental, and he's 35. Carlo has to bring back at least a first-round draft pick, I would think, or a really top
Welcome
prospect.
on the back is excellent.
Carlo is... I really like Carlo. I'm going to miss him in Boston.
What's the next hair color, Yvonne? This is the hair color I've been dyeing my hair for a very long time. I don't change it.
I've got a like there's a I get it ordered through Amazon, but it's a subscription. So every 6 months, every 6 months, her hair color comes in. It's automatic. So that's her hair color.
This is it.
Adelaide changes her hair color.
She does. Yeah.
But Yvonne is it's the same color since
exact same shade.
2017.
Something. It's been a long time. I don't change my hair color. This is it. Any thoughts on Yzerman, Stanny, Pat? We've been on a slump and loaded with injuries down the middle and Mrazek.
Craig Smith's going to be a good bottom 6 addition. What it does is it sends the message to the locker room that he didn't feel like they needed major changes, which can be good. And who knows? Maybe Craig Smith has a good run with them. Mrazek is having a bit of a down year this year, comparatively speaking to previous years in Chicago, but Detroit knows what he can do, and we'll see how it works out.
Love the content. Been a fan for a while. Thoughts on Capitals' lack of business?
Caps didn't need to do very much. The Caps, the biggest issue for the Capitals would have been all these guys have really good chemistry with each other. This team is rolling. You don't want to disrupt that chemistry. So you bring in Beauvillier, and you don't need to do a lot. You just add a little bit of depth up front. They've got the goaltending. They've got excellent defense. There's no need for overreacting and making trades at the deadline just to say you've made trades.
Are you guys fans of any other sports aside from hockey?
I like the NFL.
I really don't.
I watch the wrestling, though a lot of people don't consider that a sport.
I like curling. I do really enjoy watching curling.
I'm going to try to watch more baseball this year.
I really don't like baseball. A shot. I also really, really don't like American football.
I'm also leaning towards
like American football.
Leaning towards MLB Power Rankings on the Entertainment Guy channel this year, which my wife is very supportive of, very happy with.
I've been trying to talk him out of it for a while.
Very much thinks that that's something that I should do, and that I don't. Why am I not doing Major League Baseball Power Rankings right now?
That's not
that kind of thing. So yeah.
No. Pass on that. Anyways, I'm in St. Louis, so you're legally obligated to follow baseball. That's unfortunate. I don't know. Baseball's too boring.
It can be.
No. As a Bolts fan, can't even enjoy Marchand leaving.
Yeah, he's off to Florida.
Have you watched Love is Blind season 8? Those shows are
We're watching it now.
So ridiculous.
Like not right now, but we've been watching it. Not a big fan of Dave, but at any rate, that's because I think Lauren is fantastic. That woman, she's just her personality, everything about her. I think she's great. And he's all like, I heard you were hooking up before you went on the show. And oh no, people are hooking up. Who cares? She didn't after being on the show. You raging dingus.
This is a huge mug. It's great, isn't it? This is Yvonne size tea mugs. I don't do those little tiny ones. I drink way too much tea.
You don't want muffin. You always.
Some people snack all day. I don't. Muffin. I always have drinks with me, and so I actually have multiple. I have 2 because I've almost finished my tea.
Shadow, you moron. That's a carrot
muffin. And again, it's huge.
Shadow's eating the carrot muffin just because I told him he wouldn't eat it.
Show you.
That's exactly what that is.
Eat what I want to eat. Okay, waiting for Edmonton to trade Skinner to a team that will miss the playoffs.
Yeah, Skinner's going to get into playoff games this year. Imagine if he was a healthy scratch for the playoffs. I'd rather.
Didn't expect Love is Blind talk, but Shannon's 1,000% right. What do you think has been the best trade?
The best trade.
When did you switch hats?
We'll see how the Carlo deal works. I'm interested to see what the return looks like on the Carlo deal. My favorite trade, though.
See, my tea's finished.
I'm gonna miss Stankoven so much. I do like Dallas adding Rantanen.
Cup trade.
I hope that works out. I have some concerns.
Are you going to be ranking each trade in a video?
No.
That's tricky to rank them.
No. I'll talk about how I feel that the teams did in trades. And then we can get into which teams stood pat and everything. Like the Canucks just traded Susie, and that was it.
She's pretty sure she's starving still.
I've already given you. Look, I don't have
THG and Yvonne, a YouTube life reality show coming soon on Amazon or Netflix. Absolutely not.
I don't need cameras.
Not
rolling around my house. That's a no.
When I watch reality shows with Shannon, so I'm not a reality show person. Shannon is. But we watch them together just because it's fun to talk about the people on the shows.
And we watched the finale of Traders last night, which was awesome.
I always feel bad for the people on the show, and I understand that it is edited to make them appear a certain way.
Yeah.
And just because somebody looks like they're a horrible person doesn't mean that they are, because they've got hours and hours and hours of video and they're clipping it down to like 10 minutes. They could make somebody look like the worst human being ever just by little snippets. And I can't imagine the stress of having cameras constantly in your face and being aware of that and knowing you have to behave a certain way because there's a camera there. I've no desire to do that. That sounds really, really stressful. I think it would be awful. I think being on any of these shows would be terrible. I can see how it could give you emotional damage for years.
Did to Carolyn.
No, never. I would never.
Carolyn
no
from
desire.
The Traders. So from this season of The Traders, Carolyn, she's still taking antidepressants.
I can't imagine. And then people would be bringing up one stupid thing that you said, maybe when you didn't even remember that you had 30 cameras looking at you, because there's not people there. They're just like cameras in your wall.
Carolyn was always doing the
I can't imagine how yeah, we already deal with internet people criticizing stupid things, like the guy earlier criticizing how my face looks. I can't. Every live stream.
Really?
Every live stream.
Got a nice, pretty face lady.
It would be ramped up way more. Sounds terrible.
Oh, crap.
I would never, ever. Eric Johnson back to the Avs.
Yep. Makes sense. He gets a chance to maybe win another Stanley Cup. So good for him, and good for the Flyers for giving him a chance at that Stanley Cup. The Flyers aren't getting there.
Utah trades Weber and Soderstrom to Chicago for a 6th.
Yep. Doesn't really move the needle, but yep.
You'll have a board when he does the reviews for all of the trades after this.
Absolutely.
We just don't have it for this video, so people can't just talk about how much I'm blocking the board.
Made that decision this morning. I'm like, we don't really need the board. I'd rather see, because I knew it was one or the other. Either have the TV on or have the board that I can either, because when I have both and then we have the chat, I can't follow all three.
And then it's hard for me asking him questions because he's trying to write down something.
Especially when, now we know the return. Oh, this return was wrong when they initially reported it. Actually is. So, yeah.
What's the return for Marchand?
I have not seen it yet.
Yeah,
I've not seen a return for Marchand
yet. What is it? Is Bear still around? She was just at her feet a second ago.
She's sleeping in the cat tree.
Oh, she went back over to her spot.
Yeah, she sleeps in the cat tree. She gets her time.
Cinnabons. I don't know. Oh, you can't see it. You can see a little bunny ear right here. Cinnabons in front of the heater having a bath, which is like the cutest thing ever.
There it is.
Isn't she adorable?
See, so when I have the heater on during videos, half the time it's because she's having a bath in front of the heater, and I won't turn off the heater when she's having a bath in front of it. See that?
Can you guys see this? Let me move this over a little bit. There. How cute is that?
She sits in front of it. She warms her paws, and she has a little bath. She's cleaning her face.
Isn't that cute? Okay. If Hart is found not guilty, does a team sign him?
Probably. I would think so. Although this much time away from hockey, who knows how that all turns out, but probably.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I'm getting a lot better at the online random people telling me how hideous I am. So it doesn't bother me too much now.
We have not watched the second season of Severance yet. She does not remember because Severance has a lot. And it's been a long time since we watched it.
That's a good show, though.
Once she's caught up to speed, we will watch the second season of Severance.
I need to rewatch the first season. So
I would say arguably the best show being produced right now.
I told Gabriel he needs to watch that one too.
Severance is really fantastic.
Cinnabon is the best bunny name.
She's so sweet.
So cute.
But see, you can't turn off a heater when she's
you don't block the boardy fawn, you make it better. I think people would disagree on that one.
Yeah.
And tell me how my big forehead's in the way and stuff.
I don't think you have a big forehead.
It was in the comments today.
Oh.
It's a new one. I've never heard that one before. I've heard the comments about how I have a shiny forehead. Like, yeah, cool. I know.
Because you're brilliant. So your brilliance exudes through your skin.
Internet people suck. They do indeed. There's also a lot of awesome people online.
Absolutely.
And luckily, we have way more awesome people than ridiculous people.
True.
But the internet people don't bother me so much now. After a few years, you get a little bit more used to it.
Became a new subscriber not too long ago. Wanted to say thank you for your video on mental health, depression, as someone who's fought a similar battle. Thank you. I'm always very open about that. Mental health's a battle. You never go, well, I'm really glad that's behind me. It's always there. And it's something that you deal with and you adjust and you keep going. So if I hadn't kept going back when I was at my lowest point in 2014, you wouldn't have the hockey guys. So there you go.
Oh, somebody likes my glasses. Thank you. I like these glasses too. They're kind of fun. Humans are weird to focus on the negative, even if it's a small minority.
I try my best.
That's how we work, though.
I try my best not to focus on the negative. This is why I'm like, he likes everything because everybody craps on everything all the time. It's like I look at a trade. I look at a trade and I go, well, I can understand that from both teams. And then it's just I'm bombarded with this is stupid. Why did this is dumb? This is stupid. And it's like, but like it makes sense. Why? Okay, Sens have acquired Fabian Zetterlund. So see, there's still trades coming in. Zetterlund going to wow. Granlund and Zetterlund, the Lund line's broken up. It's just Eklund left now.
Yvonne has good taste in alternate jerseys. I decided to wear Flames. I really like Flames jerseys. Shannon knows I like Flame jerseys. I definitely by far have the most Winnipeg stuff. I have a lot of Winnipeg stuff.
Because every time Winnipeg's on sale,
I really like Winnipeg stuff. And then it would be Canucks because I go to Abbotsford Canuck games.
So theoretically,
but I don't have very many Canuck jerseys.
Theoretically,
weird.
Flames,
I have a lot of Flames.
If I bought you a whole cleaning package for your birthday, would you rather have a Winnipeg Jets item or items for your birthday rather than the entire cleaning package?
No cleaning stuff at all.
But like
Shannon,
if it's a fancy bucket?
No. I will put it on your head. Put said fancy bucket on your head.
Jewel encrusted. I glued those damn things on there myself.
Whatever. Anyways, you guys are both great. Go Flyers. Our kids think we are ridiculous. Oh my gosh, I didn't tell you.
We embarrass the kids.
My kids are totally used to us being us and being goofy, and they do not get embarrassed by us. Their friends, on the other hand.
Oh, yeah.
Their friends are not used to parents that'll kiss each other and Adelaide, our youngest, who's now 12, has friends that are not used to parents that are just silly and goofy. And us skipping through parking lot, she's like, what are your parents doing? So funny.
All right, give her a smack on the backside and she gives me a smack on the backside. Who cares?
We're years of embarrassing children. Our children are not embarrassed at all. They think we're awesome.
Yeah.
Darn kids.
Although, if you want kids to leave you alone, fake that you're making out. It will generally cause them to leave the room.
Buy her a Winnipeg Swiffer wet jet. Yes, works. So you pretend you're making out really loud and the kids leave. It works great because they don't ever leave me alone any other way.
No.
They never leave me alone.
No.
Ever. The Canes really messed up.
I don't know. Stankoven's good. And I think the Canes have had some issues over the years, but I think they'll be fine. I mean, obviously with Stankoven and a couple of firsts, that is not a cup-winning formula for this year necessarily, but it's not like they're a bad team.
Fraser Minton to Boston as part of deal.
I like Fraser Minton. I think he'll fit in well in Boston. Obviously, Boston's given up some centers here and there. Minton can play center, so maybe he becomes that fourth line center for them next season.
Trading Minton was not it. Buffalo to send Yoki Haru to Boston per Drager.
Why? I don't understand why Boston would be adding Yoki Haru right now. Unless it's like Boston should be looking for futures. I mean, is he on an expiring contract? It's one of those things I'll look at when I'm putting the board together. Which ones are on expiring contracts and which ones aren't. And I say that as somebody who likes Yoki Haru, but it's an odd deal, I think. But we'll see what it ends up looking like.
Somebody's asking about your jersey, Shannon.
The
fun one.
Yeah, the Heartlanders. Iowa has some of the best jerseys in hockey. Honestly, I've got Iowa Wild. I've got Iowa Stars. Iowa Heart. Like if we ever go to Iowa, we're set.
I have no plans to go. There are so many places.
We're set.
That would be on the list before going to Iowa. No offense to Iowa, but that is nowhere on my list.
Yeah, she wants to go to like Tokyo Disney and Paris Disney. And,
definitely.
I mean, Paris is not Iowa.
And thank goodness. I mean, sorry. There's so many places in Canada I'd want to go.
Like we've already seen an Eiffel Tower. Do we need to see the other Eiffel Tower?
I've been on the other Eiffel Tower. I've been on the real one.
So there you go. You've been on both Eiffel Towers.
I would love to take you to France.
If you went back to Paris, you'd be like, well, seen this, seen that.
Nope. That would be awesome.
The Triumph Arch. Been through that.
Triumph Arch?
Yeah, you know, Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah, what is it in English?
Triumph Arch.
Is that what people really call it?
I don't know.
I
don't think anybody ever translates. It's just called Arc de Triomphe.
I don't know.
Pretty sure.
I don't know. What is L'Arc de Triomphe in English? Does anybody know? I honestly don't know.
Archie McTriumph face?
Iowa is just like Manitoba, except less stabby. I don't know that it would be the same, but...
Do they have as many bugs?
Do you have any Shoresy jerseys? Right, there might not be.
Oh, I have.
The mosquitoes might be smaller.
I have 2 Sioux jerseys, and I have a Blueberry Bulldogs jersey as well. So I've worn the Blueberry Bulldogs jersey frequently on the channel, comparatively speaking to others.
Do y'all know French? Yes.
Partly.
Not as good.
I would need to brush up.
It used to be.
I'd need to brush up. I'd need to do like the Duolingo
I used to be pretty darn fluent. Not so much. It's been like 15 years since I've
So you need to watch the French version of Traders with me, and then you'll figure it out. Gosh,
that would be a crash course, wouldn't it? If we were to go back to Europe, I think I could do like Duolingo French, and I would catch it back up pretty quick. I think.
Probably.
I think I could.
And I mean, the hockey stuff, I still watch the French hockey feeds every now and then, so I'd still, you know.
Yeah, we know all the hockey terms.
If you ever need, okay, tell him he shoots, he scores in French. Okay.
Come down to the Eiffel Tower in Paris, Texas.
There's an Eiffel Tower in Paris, Texas?
Sounds like it might be disappointing.
There's too many Eiffel Towers then.
How did you guys learn French? We're Canadian?
Bilingual country.
Yeah.
You have to know some French.
It definitely helps.
Wow, Zach Ostapchuk going to San Jose in that deal.
Yeah, we had to do years of French in school. My grandmother spoke French quite fluently, so she would speak to me in French just because she was insistent that all Canadians needed to at least be able to converse in French. Same with hockey. We had to watch hockey because all Canadians have to watch hockey.
True.
Anne of Green Gables. I was gifted all of the Anne of Green Gables when I was little. My grandmother was very much that if you are Canadian, these are the things that you have to do. So, yes, French was one of those things. But it's been years.
I don't know. I took it in school. I really liked songs from Mitsu.
Oh yeah.
What other French? Oh, it was Vanessa Paradis.
Oh, French or Francophone? Probably know French more than Francophone.
It is interesting how much English gets
the French
into
here in BC is more French as opposed to Francophone.
My teacher used to call it Franglish. He used to tell us off for that because we'd throw in English words here and there, and he's like, no.
Well, they do.
French. We're like, but come on.
Bilingual means you're fancy pants in American. I think a lot of Americans are bilingual, right? Right.
See, and then I know some Spanish as well. See, Spanish took the place of French for me when I was in my 20s.
I know.
And so I learned a lot of Spanish.
Spanish-speaking people hate it, but I've been able to have many conversations with people that only speak Spanish because I know French.
Yeah. French, Portuguese. Yeah.
But there was enough similar words that I have had. Like I used to ride the bus to a man that would ride the bus also at the same time, but he only spoke Spanish. But I was able to talk to him a little bit because I know French.
Pequeño.
Yeah. What was it? Un poco?
Pequeño, poco. Yeah.
Is it just me or is it weird that Pitt kept Raquel?
Not weird at all to me. Raquel's having his best season he's had in ages. I think he likes playing there. I don't think he has any intention of going anywhere else. And for Pittsburgh, they don't want to do a full rebuild because you've still got Malkin, Crosby, and Letang. The focus is going to be trying to fix this in the offseason.
Opinion on Sens deals. Any more happening today?
The Zetterlund trade's going to be interesting, and I'll have that on a board, and we'll talk about it. Ottawa's definitely going for it and trying to shake things up. The Sens are in a dogfight right now. So, they got Patrick Allvin on TV talking about how, nope. I'm surprised Besser's still a Canuck. I'm hopeful that means they can sign him.
3 years of French 50 years ago. I'm an expert. I don't think that'll hold up. Just saying. Because I've only had 15 years of not really speaking it, and I feel like my French has super dropped off. But I can still read it.
Because my French is always really good. I've shown that in many live streams. Je suis formidable. Ta-da!
What are your concerns with Rantanen at Dallas?
I don't really have any. I think Rantanen's going to fit in just fine. I think it shows that the Stars are committed to winning. I think that Rantanen should be able to score roughly 40 goals a year playing in Dallas, where offense is encouraged. I think it's a good pickup. I'm really happy with what Dallas did today.
There's people saying just random French. Je ne sais pas. There you go.
You can just say je ne sais too. Je ne sais.
I was out walking the dog when all heck broke loose for the Bruins. Thoughts on the moves, even though most moves don't have full return posted yet.
The Marchand one, I'm concerned. I don't know how much value Marchand necessarily has at this point. I don't know. I mean, it shows Boston selling, which is the right move, but Boston fans are going to be choked if Florida wins the Stanley Cup with Marchand. That's going to feel really conflicting.
Shannon, is Vasi top 5 all time?
Not yet. He'd have to keep it up for a while longer. You know, I jinxed it. I got a Marchand Boston jersey last month.
See, it was Shannon's fault.
It was dirt cheap, and now he's been traded.
Shannon's fault.
So now this whole idea of a video.
More than one?
I do. I have 2, but one of them is like the small one. but this one was like the 100th anniversary, the centennial.
Oh, yes.
Oh, see, I
Shannon's
should have done that
just
video
keeps
before.
Jinxing teams.
Shoot. Canucks additions, subtractions, and it's blank spaces.
Are you surprised Donato didn't get traded from the Hawks?
A little bit. But the thing with Donato is he's playing really well this year, but I don't think GMs would offer a ton because he's not going to get as much playing time in Winnipeg as he's getting in Chicago. So you're not going to get those goals from him. So it makes sense for Chicago to hold on to him rather than trade him for, mid-round draft pick.
See, some of you guys are speaking French on here, like I pretend that I can speak Spanish. Taco, enchilada, agua, por favor. I know dos aquis, por favor. See, I know all sorts of Spanish. If I think about it, I know how to count to 10 too. Yeah.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro,
cinco,
cinco,
seis,
seis,
siete, ocho, nueve, diez. There you go. That's the extent of my Spanish.
And then
but I see there's a bunch of other
is
people
11,
that
which
can
makes sense because it's
speak.
ons in French.
Yes, right. There's a bunch. Yeah, nachos. See, taquitos. I know all sorts of Spanish, and that's how a lot of them are doing French on here. Baguette, fromage. Yeah, yeah. Dos cervezas, por favor.
No,
see, I know all sorts of Spanish.
No me gusta tu mujer means I don't like your wife.
Useful. That's useful. Useful.
I learned enough to start a fight in a bar in Mexico if I ever went down there. That was always my key thing, was finding out how to. Well, because I was always around a Spanish family, and the things I heard most often were insults being thrown at each other. So I'm like, what does that mean? And he said, oh, okay, all right. Okay. So, yeah. No me gusta tu boca. I don't like your face.
Where's the library?
No me gusta tu boca. No me gusta tu boca is I don't like your mouth. It's either mouth or face.
For what word? What word?
Boca.
I would guess that'd be mouth.
Mouth. No me gusta tu boca. I don't like your mouth.
Close to the French.
So, yeah.
You guys are made for each other. Is that an insult? Or...
Aw, we're made for each other. Like MADE or MIID.
Yeah.
Because, it works either way. I clean up after her. She cleans up after me.
You do not. Whatever.
But don't I?
No.
In ways you don't even know. I'm like the shoemaker with the elves. I'm the elf. It's just quietly doing things in the background.
No.
That you're not even aware of.
Do
you need this guy? Is this what you need right now? So these are magnets. This is why I love this, because magnets. I'm a big fan of magnets.
Shannon likes magnets.
And I've got another one that
I know enough to get slapped in Spanish. So does Shannon. Yeah. Shannon says things to me sometimes. I'm like, what are you saying? And I'm like,
it's dirty.
Why do you know those words?
Yeah. It's something dirty.
Why no Jets jersey, Mrs. Hockey Guy? Because I can't always wear the Jets.
Right.
I have a lot of really fun Jet stuff, but I can't always wear the Jets. And then people get all insulted. And then they tell Shannon how much he hates the Jets. And it's weird, a whole thing.
She knows which teams I do not root for, and the Jets are not on that list. I'm always happy for the Jets when they're doing well.
Because I like them. Actually, he
doesn't mind the
Jets.
I like the players too.
The Jets have a lot of fun players.
There are teams that I get mad when they win and I'm like, oh, they won again. But Jets are not that team.
Are you going to the game tonight? The Abbotsford game? I'm going to the Abbotsford game. Shannon's not.
I can't. 6 games tonight in the National Hockey League. 6.
Shannon gets to go to the Abbotsford game on Wednesday.
Yes.
Where it's our middle son's 18th birthday on Wednesday. So we're all gonna go to that game. That's really fun.
Get you like an anniversary present just in case I forget our anniversary in July. And then I can say, remember in March when I got you that.
You don't forget our anniversary. I do, but I have a phone reminder. I have a reminder on my phone to remind me when our anniversary is.
Obe Kubel to the Rangers for Brandstrom. So a trade of minor league parts. Yep, Marchand to the Panthers, Carlo to the Leafs.
Oh, if you see either of us at a game, you can absolutely come say hi. I don't think we've ever had anybody be irritating about it. We don't mind talking to people at all. And when the kids are with us, they think it is the coolest thing ever. They do.
True.
Adelaide especially, she thinks it is so neat that people know who we are, because our kids were just people.
I think she realized it when we were in Anaheim at that game for the Ducks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's when it clicked.
Yeah.
Like, that's when it clicked for all the kids.
People know who my parents are.
Yeah. Like, that's when it really clicked.
Well, and then Gabriel, people talk to him at school all the time. They know who he is.
Right.
Which is weird for him.
Right.
Because people in his class just start talking about you. And he's like, oh, okay.
Well, there's not a lot of Gabriels.
No, there's not.
So.
Not in his school.
No.
Bruins first. Minton, Leafs, Carlo, Pens, Timmins, Dewar.
Yeah. Hopefully it all works out for Boston. What's your concern about the Rantanen trade from a Dallas perspective? There's the chemistry argument, whether or not that might throw off the team's chemistry. And I mean, it big trades like that can take a guy a while to get used to a new environment. But I'm really not all that worried about how things are going to go for Dallas. I'm really confident about this team, which is terrifying because I'm not usually really confident about teams I root for, but Dallas, I'm very confident.
If you could fly anywhere to watch a team with their new pickups in their first game, what team would you pick?
Oh, it'd be Dallas. I would love to go to a game in Dallas and yell the Dallas Stars. And I stomp when they do that too.
He does that this is what Shannon does.
Yeah. Dallas
in here
Stars,
watching games.
Dallas Stars. It's great. I'd love to be able to actually do that at the game. That'd be awesome.
I totally would too.
You got to do the stomping around because it's Pantera. And
I would love to see it. Cool. I don't know that will ever happen, but I think that would be really cool.
I'd go to Dallas.
I know. Shannon, what are your thoughts on Marchand being traded?
I'm conflicted. I'm sure he's conflicted about going to the Panthers. Like, he wants a chance to win another Stanley Cup, but I'd be interested to know the conversation between him and Sam Bennett when he gets there. But now you can put him and Sam Bennett on the same line, and you could have the most irritating team in the history of hockey now with Florida. Yeah, it really, you could have, and I say that as a compliment because some of the best teams, some of the teams that win are the ones that have the most irritating agitators in the league. So I think Florida did themselves a solid here.
People want you to go down to Dallas.
I'd love to go to Dallas.
There's a lot of people that want you to go down to Dallas.
I'd love that.
So yeah,
I'd love to go down there. I'd love to be, on the water and everything. And I would love that. That is eventually I want to go to Dallas. We had a plan back in 2020 where we were going to do Vegas and Dallas because the flights
had so many plans. 2020. We had quite a few plans.
Yeah. I had the whole thing figured out and then everything shut down and that was the end of that dream and we haven't revisited it yet. So at any rate, that's where we're at.
I have an extra ticket for the game on April 5th. Shannon, come on down. Okay. We're not traveling to Texas anytime soon. I'm sorry. It is not going to happen.
No, things have to just settle down a bit first.
We are not.
Things have to
traveling down there right now. It's not going to happen. Oh, somebody from Italy says hi. So our son Gabriel, Italy in, is it 2 weeks?
Yep.
2 weeks? Oh my gosh, 2 weeks left.
Yep.
Holy crap. Yeah, Gabriel gets to go to Italy. Well, he's going to France a little bit and then going to Italy. So I'm so excited for him. That'll be awesome.
Agreed. Yeah, that should be fun.
Yep. Experience Canada. Absolutely. Can't wait. That'll be fun. All sorts of cool places to go.
During the summer, it's going to be fun traveling Canada. I don't know about the winter. Yep. The winter is a little bit trickier.
Not as travel-y.
No. We could try Toronto.
Toronto's
not
awesome.
That much colder than our weather here. It's colder, but not that much colder.
You have way more snow.
Yeah.
But Quebec in winter, can you imagine going to Quebec? It'd be beautiful.
Ottawa, Rideau Canal.
Yes. That would be so fun.
You want to skate down the canal?
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Okay.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Yep, that would be awesome. And they've got the like ice palace and everything. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
that could be fun.
There are definitely places I would go in the winter in Canada.
That could be fun.
Not Winnipeg. No, I don't.
Winnipeg's
Winnipeg's
little colder. So
as much as
I did
would
get
love
both
to
of
go to
us new winter
Winnipeg,
jackets, but I don't know that Winnipeg's going to be.
He got me the kind that has the heater in it because I'm always freezing.
And right now they're on clearance for like $30. So I was like, cool, I'll get her one for $30.
Oh, what are the ticket prices for Abbotsford Canuck games?
Not bad.
It depends on where you sit.
Not bad.
But
it's like
you
what,
can,
$30?
Yeah, you can get tickets for around
Starts around
$30.
$30, I think. Yeah. Abbotsford Canucks games are very reasonably priced.
And they're fun games.
The interesting thing is, now, I can't say anything about what Vancouver ticket holders go through, but Abbotsford honestly has been great. When we've talked to representatives from the Abbotsford Canucks, it's done really well. I talked to them
just the other day because I needed a couple extra tickets for Gabriel's birthday.
Yep.
Yeah. I like going to Abbotsford games. I go to a lot of Abbotsford games.
Yeah, the Abbotsford Canucks reps we've dealt with have been really, really good. I have no complaints at all about them.
Where was that?
Ryan Reeves clears waivers. No kidding.
Do no tax states have an advantage to sign like Dallas?
Yes. The rumored deal that Rantanen turned down, and it was only rumored, was for over $100 million. He has signed a $96 million extension with Dallas. The no tax thing probably does make a little bit of a difference. I think people overblow that a little bit. But does it make a difference? Probably. And with the salary cap exploding over the next few years, it's probably going to be a bigger difference. So teams are going to have to get creative with their contracts and make sure they hold on to players they've drafted. The league's going to go through some stuff over the next few years. We'll see how it all goes.
People saw Shadow for a moment. Oh, yep. He jumped to the top of the other tree there.
So he has moved up to the top of that tree. So all the cats are in that tree. Bear's down here. Maple's over here and Shadow's over here.
Did you do a preview for the games tonight?
Nope. The preview will be going in with the video that I do talking about the trades from today.
There you go. Boston first, Minton, Toronto, Carlo, Pittsburgh, Timmins, Dewar. There you go.
We'll see how it all turns out.
Would a trip to Hershey Park be in the future? It's a beautiful place to be. Awesome rides. See a Hershey Bears game while you're here. Let's go Caps.
She does want me to get a Chocolate Town jersey.
Oh my gosh, no. What in the world?
So,
Chocolate Town?
Yeah.
Really? No.
And then
I get it Hershey's, but that's silly.
And like I could just have the word white over the top. So I'm White Chocolate Town. What's up? Like I think
I might have told him he was too pale to wear it.
So I said, fine, I'm White Chocolate Town. Now what? So I am the milky version. But yeah, so that was my first thought was Chocolate Town. That sounds kind of, anyways, I understand it's Hershey. A lot of new fun AHL jerseys. It's just pricey. And now you got a whole bunch of import and I can't now. So then the AHL brings out all these really fun jerseys.
It is expensive for us to get jerseys from the States because we have to pay duty on it. And sometimes the amount of duty that they randomly pick is a stupid amount.
It's insane. Yeah.
Have the Jets done anything today?
They added Tanev and they added Luke Shen. Brandon Tanev. Should specify Brandon Tanev.
Have to go to work now, guys. This has been a great trade deadline stream. Looking forward to seeing the video recapping all of this tonight.
I will be doing that pretty quickly here. We'll be shutting down the live stream pretty quickly here because we're up to about 1 o'clock. And I think everything that's going to come out has come out except some of the returns for like Marchand and stuff. But either way,
tariffs, taxes, and duty have killed my cross-border shopping. I think the American inflation killed our cross-border shopping.
We weren't shopping down there.
We haven't been shopping in the States for a long time because things are way too expensive.
Because I used to get like all the fun flavored Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi.
Not worth
but
it.
The amount of money, like a 10-pack up here is about $8.
Yeah.
A 10 or 12-pack is about $8 up here, and a 12-pack of soda in the States was costing us about $12 Canadian.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And I was like, that's not worth it.
Even the chocolate bars in the States were stupid expensive.
Yeah.
So we haven't been shopping in the States for a long time.
No, it's been years.
So the duty and all of that doesn't really matter for that. We weren't shopping in the States anyways.
Yeah.
If the Habs make the playoffs, look out. Did the Oilers do anything worthwhile?
I like adding Wallman. I think adding Wallman's a good move on their part. I think that trade's going to work out well for them.
Corporate greed. Absolutely. That is definitely how that works.
The price gouging coming out of 2020 was insane.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that with all of this tariff talk, there's going to be some serious price gouging again.
Who does Vancouver need to add to help get going?
Some kind of reset needs to take place. And I don't know if there's a personnel you could, I don't know if there's a person you could add. I don't know that there's anything you could do. I think a lot of it is psychological with him too. And I don't know. I don't know how you fix it, but I talking about how terrible he is. I'm not going to do that because everybody's doing it. So that's why when I did the Canucks video the other day, I briefly touched on Pettersson because everybody's crapping on Pettersson all the time right now. So I don't see any point in me doing the exact same thing.
How do the tariffs affect the league itself?
Bettman said that it's going to cause a challenge if it drives down the Canadian dollar because it's going to hurt American teams or Canadian teams because they pay out in American dollars. So it's going to jack up their prices. So we would see ticket prices go up here, but they're keeping an eye on it. Right now, it has not had an effect as of yet. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. It would depend on where they get their gear and such too. So
a lot of the gear producers are in Canada.
Right, right. So it would affect the Americans because then now all of the gear that the American teams are buying are going to cost them more. So the American teams are going to have to pay more for all of their hockey equipment.
Yeah. Yeah. But at any rate, we'll see how it turns out. All right. I think we should wrap this up because we're at 1:00 and then I can get video stuff done and we can get into looking at the upcoming weekend as well.
There's a lot of people asking still about Marchand. Have they announced?
I haven't seen what the return is. I have not seen what the return is yet.
That's what a lot of people are asking.
It'll be in a video as soon as we know what the return is. But we know he's headed to Florida. So maybe Bennett's going to Boston. Bennett doesn't have an extension yet. Wouldn't that be bonkers if somehow Bennett was part of it?
This is the only color I ever dye my hair. It looks way more red to me on the screen than
it does purple.
It's actually like a plum purple color, but on here it looks kind of more red. But
it makes sense because this is my plum
purple.
So
purple doesn't really show very well on cameras.
No.
Are the Abbotsford Canucks struggling?
Not that I know of.
Not too bad. They could definitely be better, but they're not doing bad.
If you're looking at it from a point of view of attendance, a little bit, but
compared to last year, but I think a lot of that season ticket holders.
Yeah, but I think Vancouver really appreciates having their AHL team close by, and Aquilini has an ownership stake in the Abbotsford Canucks team too, so I think it works. But anyways, should get going. I got to get and then we can get the video stuff rolling for the trades that have been made and everything. And I can get other stuff done. Looking forward to tonight's games because there are games tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how roughly a third of the league playing.
Oh, somebody wants to see the kitties really quick before we go.
Absolutely.
Everybody. Oh, we've got 4 kitties.
Shadows up here. Bears inside. That's where she sleeps. She sleeps in there.
You can kind of see her.
Maple.
Oh, watch it. There's a key on that tree too.
So we've got Azrael down here, and Maple is right behind, right up here.
You can kind of see her bum. Let's see. She's right. It's hard to point. She's right there.
So
there's Maple.
4 cats. And that's why they don't show up in videos because they're still in here, but wherever I put the whiteboard, they're in a pile off to the side and they're not as visible.
Pixel is not in here right now.
Pixel gets chased out by Bear. Bear doesn't allow Pixel in here. So anyways, guys, thanks for coming out. Greatly appreciated. Fun trade deadline. Brandon Carlo's on the phone to Sportsnet at this point, talking about becoming a Toronto Maple Leaf. That'll be odd for him. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. If you haven't already hit subscribe, please do. And join the Discord.
Yep, the Discord link is in the description of every video.
Somewhere.
I think it's on this side.
Probably, but I just like to do this because it's fun. All right, take care. I hope everybody has a good day, and we will do this again soon.